The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with the AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Babagusta, and our Abneisen, as we are here for the final day in many respects. The final day for Division 3 in the season, the final day for Season 3, and the final day of the Esports Club Pro League in 2020, as Season 4 begins in 2021. So I guess it is about time we make that joke. You know, it comes with its own little bit of heaviness. It's a bittersweet thing, as it were. 2020 has been a very trying and in most cases terrible year, but that is a conversation to be saved for another time. Right now we'll be having the first of 3 stream matches here in Div 3, starting with Nevermind Esports versus Jirvuya, going live on your screens right now as we find the players are getting ready for the first round, having just finished the ban phase. The bans of the day are Blackbeard, Ash, Melusi, and the Valkyrie. Interesting set of bans right there. Most importantly, the Ash, even though, you know, Nevermind Esports have had a history of playing with Ash on multiple occasions to some great effect. Speaking of which, let's have a look at both the rosters that are here in the lobby for ourselves today from the side of Nevermind Esports as the game finishes loading in quickly.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Oh, there we go. No, never mind me. My own feed froze and I thought something was up. Anyway, Nevermind Esports have for us today Beam, Ombat Swaha, Fatty Widowmaker, Warlord, and Moose. And from the side of Jirvuya, we've got Taurus, God, Shockin, Addy, and Ghost, with the first round going underway in an interesting side decision from Jirvuya. It is First Floor Blue and Sunrise Bar that we're seeing come out from their side. And unfortunately, Impact Grenade does a bit of damage to Taurus. Unfortunately, the
5 seconds left
smoke will have to be slightly more careful, although, you know, at 85 HP, it's not really too much of a problem for this operator right here. Piece with 2 armor, fairly balanced in terms of his armor versus the, you know, speed count. But Nevermind Esports, you know, they're in a bit of a dire position. 7th place in the leaderboard right now, just above Sage Empire. Both of them, alongside D3 Team Sky, are fighting relegation. So Nevermind Esports today will try to do the best that they possibly can, but they're going up against Jirvuya, 4th in the leaderboard, 9 points in total. So there's not much separating both of these teams. If Nevermind Esports wins this, they might even overthrow Jirvuya and get ahead in the competition, or at the very least, pause Jirvuya's, you know, path to power. Attempted pre-fire into the Zofia won't work from the smoke, but it does work from the Vigil, as Fatty Widowmaker will go down to the Legion as well. 2 quick drops, and we are just passing the 2-minute mark. Ombat Swaha, unfortunately, will also disconnect post-death, and that leaves the side of Nevermind Esports in a 2v5 as the Capital as well goes down.
Well, with Shocking tried to contest the player in towards the hook of balcony. With the diffuser being dropped here, there's only two players left on the side of Norman Esports to make their play, in which both of them are in towards the balcony. Ghost might be able to see the head of the Nomad, but he's going to be the Nomad with that gunfight beam, getting that first kill from Jetter Vyuha, as they just eliminated one player. That would be Ghost in towards the billiards room window, but they still need to find four more, and the site is still in first floor blue bar and sunrise bar. A very unusual sight for Jetter Vyuha to bring in the site like this. Most of the time you do see a second floor hookah or a other side, but Boeam, he wants to try to make some amends here, eliminating God right in towards the window of sunrise bar, in which if they do however eliminate one more, then the score would be equalized, making it 2-2. Currently it is 2-3. They still need to find Shocking, in which he's currently in towards the second floor billiards. Warlord missing that opportunity, and that timing is what going to give Shocking his kill. Double kill to him, as it all goes down to Beam in unfortunate 1v3 situation. He did find both of them, Ghost and God, and if he did clutch it out, he will get an ace. But still, he needs to worry about the time, though. He only has 30 seconds left. He needs to deal with smokes, gas canisters, Jaeger's primary weapon, and also mutes his MP5K and the C4 to work it out with. With Beam decides to push in towards the hook entrance. Now proceed to go towards the cool vibe stairs, but he is losing a lot of time with the defenders patiently waiting, and Beam he's just worried that there would be a Jaeger in towards the billiards, but unfortunately he's just repositioned in a different position, and with the time will go down to 0, and it's going to be Jetter Vyuha winning round 1 first floor 2 bar and sunrise bar. The Jetter Vyuha not having any problems in the first round itself. We will now proceed to round 2, where Nomad Esports yet again is in a big trouble with it. Talking about it, we did get to see one of the players on the side of Nomad Esports disconnecting, and unfortunately, not having for a rehost, it will be a very difficult situation here for Nomad Esports to try to make amends. Hopefully, we might be able to go for a pause timer here. Hopefully, but yeah, there you go. We are going to go for a pause timer, and we'll be right back. But for now, let's just talk about what exactly happened here. Starting off with the ban phase, we see Nomad Esports banning the Ash and the Melusi. As well as on the side of Jetter Vyuha, they will be banning the Blackbeard and the Valkyrie. Two of the Navy SEALs operator won't be available. So does the FBI and the Melusi, in which I have no idea which kind of the operator select is in, but still. Banning Melusi is a very standard ban, knowing that her Banshee deterrent would give the attackers a lot of problem pushing in towards the site. But what's unusual is they banned the Ash on the side of Nomad Esports. So maybe they're just thinking of a targeted ban here from Nomad Esports, because Ash, knowing that her kit is so powerful, she can be able to remove a total of 3 utilities thanks to her Ash breaching charges. She'll be able to take out, some of, try to bait in the Jaeger's ADS so that the attackers might go out for a nade shot. But unfortunately, we won't be able to get to see those just yet. Interestingly enough, we will be able to see Moose picking up the Capitao. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him use the crossbow bolts for a fire or a smoke to go for a plant. Would have been better if he just immediately pushed in towards the office, gained the office control, and then try to hunt the roamers. And if it doesn't work out, you still have the backup plan to push in towards the sunrise bar and then go for the plant. You have those smokes, you have those fireballs. You could be able to secure out the plant, force them in a post-plant situation, and try to get that win at that specific position. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see her from Nomad Esports. But for now, round 2, first floor kitchen. Jack, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, given everything, I believe that Beam should actually be pushing up a little bit more aggressively, seeing as, in this season, I'm not just talking about this first round. In this entire season for Nevermind Esports, Beam and in some cases Fatty Widowmaker have made some very good plays that they should be capitalizing on, pushing them ahead, droning for them, making sure that they get the roam play done, or at the very least, excuse me right there, or at the very least going for something that makes the play revolve around them. And I say that because it's really unfortunate to see, say, Moose or Warlord try to go for those same pushes that Beam should otherwise and is otherwise able to do fairly easily and get punished because he's making mistakes. I'm talking about Moose, of course, or Warlord, or in some other situation, some other player of Nevermind Esports. It's happened multiple times before, and overall, like Nevermind Esports' impact in Division 3 has slowly diminished over the seasons that we have had them in this Division 4 in the Pro League. Hopefully that can change, of course. Right now, they are fighting relegations, and it's going to be very difficult for them to try and excuse me right there, then to try and just bring themselves back from the brink, give themselves a little chance to make something out of their situation and make it their own and keep themselves in Division 3. Again, like I said, they need to make that one change, excuse me rather, they need to make that one change in their play, and if they do, I feel that Nevermind Esports will actually be able to make some very good plays. They just need to see who takes what role better, and I'm seeing that from them every single time. It's like Fatty Widowmaker doing some plays, getting aggressive kills, Beam Dolokpur following up in the late round. You have Moose and Warlord who do very good support, and I'm seeing Moose with the Capital. Then, yeah, overall, some little role changes here and there, fragging ops, support ops, who's going to drone, who's going to be intel, who's going to be flex. Nevermind Esports needs to check this out, needs to see what they can bring for themselves and their team, because if they're not able to do that, then they will be suffering more in this match and any other match that they play. I would hate to see them get relegated into qualifiers to have to try again in season 4 after coming onto the scene with such a bang behind their name and then fizzling out. Unfortunate for the side of Nevermind Esports, but there is still hope. Jiravuya has had instances where pressuring them in the right situation, finding that mistake that they make every now and again. And it's not the same mistake, mind you. That mistake changes every now and again. Sometimes it's their intel, sometimes it's their utility clearance, sometimes it's outright their fragging potential. Maybe it's just a bad day they're having. Whatever it is, Nevermind Esports need to find that, and they need to finish off, one round, at least take a round, take the lead, give yourselves that confidence, and you push ahead with that. And suddenly the match is much, much better, flowing much, much better for you and your team than it was beforehand. Jiravuya have experienced this firsthand, and now we have Nevermind Esports who need to experience that sort of a mini renaissance, as I like to call it, in this situation. However, it has not been the case from NVM this season, and I do hope that at the very least tonight we get to see some adaptations, some changes to how they like to play so that they can give themselves a better chance to win. They need to try and again, it's the roles. I'm not seeing the roles from them, or the roles of operators being swapped around. They need to do that. If they do, then we will see them have a much better situation. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the pause timer was not effective in getting the last player from Nevermind Esports back in the lobby. We will have to go for an admin rehost because, of course, everybody knows how disappointing a 4v5 on stream can be. We don't want that. We want all the players to have themselves a good match, a great match with all 5 players around. So, excuse me right there. So, and more than that, it is, of course, the very final day of the year, or well, the final day of the year for the Pro League. So, we want to make sure that everything goes to plan, even if it takes slightly longer than usual. We do apologize for the delay, but we will be right back with the match very, very soon. Just give us like 5 minutes, I say, given that it is, Division 3, teams tend to join pretty quickly, all things considered, and it's going to be a fun game post rehost, as it were. And I've been looking over at Nevermind Esports. They've got some good support when it comes to their social game, and I quite like that. Division 3 has very dedicated people who come in and watch the games for their teams, for their friends, and for people they look up to, teams that they think might be able to make it become the next best thing in the region. Sure, that's a big leap to make, and it has multiple steps to it, and a lot of practice and a lot of grind, but most certainly it could certainly happen. For instance, Nevermind Esports, they have this little hashtag apparently that I was informed of not too long ago. More recently, pertaining to Fatty Widowmaker. So it goes something like a hashtag Fatty Widow FTW, and yeah, I feel like that's a nice sentiment to have. It gives your players quite the gives the players quite the morale boost. And when it comes to Division 3, where you're fighting against teams who are also looking to get into Div 2, it's going to be needed. You need all the morale boost you can get, because otherwise you might find yourself down in the dumps. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass it over to Baba, because I'm slowly running out of things to say. But Baba, I do have this question for you. Seeing as this is not, of course, the only game for the night, we have Wolframite versus Throw Syndicate and Spectre Gaming versus Team Clickbait coming up in the next two stream matches. What do you think is going to happen tonight? Because two teams, and only two teams, are on 12 points, and anybody could be taking that third position.
Well, first things first, I do have to start off with the Clickbait in the previous match that did get to witness. Most of the time, we saw. I kind of expected that Clickbait would have, won against Jeter Vieja, but they instead made a miraculous play there against them, winning, getting the points to 9. Currently, they're in 4th position. But talking about Clickbait, though, they still have that final match. So who knows? Maybe if they do win it back, they just need that high conversion rate to get back into the first position. Currently, Throw Syndicate is the one having the highest round win conversion rate. If I try to see the match history from the previous match, there you go. Clickbait was Jeter Vieja. It was 5-7 on map Consulate, and it was Team Sky versus Throw Syndicate 7-1 on map Villa. A very high conversion rate win coming in from Throw Syndicate. So maybe if we do see Throw Syndicate having a bit of a problem, as I'd like to call it, because I believe we don't have any Throw Syndicate matches currently. We have now, do we? No, we don't. Yeah, we actually do have. You know what? I just kind of clicked on the wrong December date here. Let me just try to get that. There you go. It is Wolframite Esports versus Throw Syndicate, in which Wolframite Esports is currently in 3rd position. With that, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally ended the rehost, and we are back with round 2 map Coastline. Nevermind Esports versus Jeter Vieja. Jeter Vieja on defense. They won their first round of defense in first floor blue bar. As we proceed back to the match, and as for the new players out there who are interested to join in for the tournament, ladies and gentlemen, season 4 registrations are live. If you want to join the tournament, just head on to the Esports Club. Link is in the description, and join the competition. Solos or squads, you name it, to be able to register in the tournament. And also talking about solos, solos registration team, Nevermind Esports is also one of them, and quite an amazing matchup that you did get to see. Nevermind Esports, they did, however, went to Div 2. Unfortunately, they had some problems, and now they're back in Div 3, fighting to make sure that they won't be relegated in Division 3, and hopefully not get eliminated. But still, they still have a chance, though, in Season 4. Who knows? It might be you who's going to be in the big leagues. We're about to find out, but for now, let's just head on into round 2. Jeter Vieja will be able to win that first round of defense, and round 2 will be on first floor kitchen, the site where we see a total of 2 players who decides to do the roaming game, talking with the Mozzie, and God with the Vigil, with a total of 2 impacts.
10 seconds left.
Indeed, the visual coming out for Jeter Vieja as usual, making sure that the drone game from the side of Nevermind Esports is as weak as possible, at least as much as Jeter Vieja can help it. Shocking with Mozzie, of course, the pests always finding those drones in inopportune times for the side of the attack, any attacking team really, as regardless of whether or not you avoid those pests in the early game, there will be a couple of drones caught in the late game trying to push into the site. Then again, it also depends on where the Mozzie puts down those little tiny pests. Quite literally, they are pests, all things considered. Speaking of Mozzie, he is currently up on second floor, just making sure to be on the roam game alongside the visual, I believe. God should be up here as well. Just making sure that second floor control does not get given away to Nevermind Esports too quickly, all things considered, because if they do, then Jiruya will have a little bit of a problem going into the other side, the other half of this round specifically. I mean, and when it comes to kitchen and service entrance, you want to make sure that verticality is not something the attackers are allowed to take with ease, if you will, and you want to waste their time as much as possible. That's what they're doing right now. As Taurus, in the meanwhile, interesting use of the smoke grenade, going to throw it out very early on the service entrance to see if he can get one or two, as the visual is peeking very dangerously right now. He's actually being pinched, one from that white stairs window. Then you have God being shot from that penthouse window as well. He's actually going to push up, but I think he's going to be seen on the drone, which will mean that his position is given away. He's playing on multiple fronts right now, and unfortunately, fighting a war on more than one front is usually not a good idea, but he might be able to scrape his way out of it. Shots are about to be fired. There we go. Shots are fired, but he will actually get one, and a big one indeed. Warlock goes down as more shots are fired, but the kill will not be connected. The Vigil is somehow alive. His feet are spotted, but the kill still isn't taken. How is he alive for this whole long? But he will finally go down. Beam shuts him off with the secondary, and with that, the body trade will happen. But 45 seconds remain, and it's a 4v4.
4v4, God has done a miraculous job. But Swaz sees the head of the Mozzie, tosses the C4, will not connect. A good change of positioning there coming in on the side of Team Nevermind Esports, and so does Shocking from Jetterview as he proceeds to fall back towards the blue stairs so that he'll be able to contest in from that specific position. But for Nevermind Esports, though, don't have enough amount of time here. 15 seconds left. The C4, second C4 will come in from Jetterview. Just waiting for the push from the kitchen to happen. Goes with the pre-fire, doesn't get the shot from Swaha just yet, and Zofia just waiting for a total of 4 seconds. We don't see any attackers going for the plant here, and Taurus finding one. The Jaeger doesn't get the shot. Then the end is going to Jetterview, winning round two yet again by successfully wasting time from their attackers. Let's take a look at that in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed to round 3, where Jetterview are in 2 rounds lead, winning 2 rounds of defense in first floor blue bar and kitchen. Well, this time we're going to be defending on second floor hookah lounge and billiards room. Talking about the attackers, though, they are taking quite a lot of time here to try to get into the side, especially trying to get control on towards second floor penthouse and theater. Even with one of the attackers, all theater, second floor penthouse and theater. Was that right, Aizen? Theater. All right, there you go. As we proceed to round 3, second floor hookah lounge will be the side with the 6-pick fighting. Widowmaker switches from the sledge to the Thatcher, as well as the Mozzie is being brought in from Ghost. The side will be on second floor hookah and billiards room. And talking about the side, though, we did see some, the attackers trying to hunt down the rumors, especially God was playing as the Vigil in towards the second floor penthouse. Personally, didn't work out well for the attackers, because for God, all he had to do was to just wait numerous amount of time, in which he did succeed. And then when they was trying to get into the side of first floor kitchen, they didn't had enough amount of soft beat capabilities to make that towards the lines of sight, because they already used it to try to flush out Vigil. With a lot of utilities being wasted, Jetterview still survives, winning that round 2. We proceed to round 3 when the action phase will come into play.
Right now, 2-0. Nevermind Esports need to make something of their attacking rounds, and they will be doing that, at least attempting something to that extent in this round. Once again, it's coming down to the fact that really their late round burst can be good, but they don't have enough of their setup done to make that late round burst count. In that previous round, pushing into service entrance, they did lose a couple of bodies. Admittedly, the smoke was getting a couple of kills with the SMG-11, but a couple of bodies were also dropped in retaliation. The reason Jiruya got away with that round was because they had defenders alive when the timer struck 0, and that was why they were allowed to win that round. It was basically because they played the timer very, very well on second floor, and at some point you have to ask how the Vigil was alive in the situation that he found himself in for that long. But you know, it was still a pretty good situation to be in for the side of Jitterbooyah. All it takes is some time wasted from the attacker's hands, and you have yourself a very winnable round. This round, however, is going to be a little bit more difficult, as Moose is going to be the first one to find a kill. That is God going down. The Jaeger taken care of, and Ombotsaw from below playing vertical thanks to the buck. He's going to shut down a shock in two very important kills right here, and we are seeing some very good adaptations from the side of the attack. We have Adi pushing around towards Blue Bar. He's actually not going to find anybody just yet, but the Blue Bar window is being broken right next to him, but he will find Warlord. That is the buck taken down, and that's a big drop indeed. They know his position right now, but the smokes are going out. The sniper will probably come in any second now, and that is the Thatcher, who's got a unfortunate blue mine in his shin, and he will be shot down as well. Ghost getting the kill through all the smoke and mirrors, and Adi gets another one. Suddenly, Nevermind Esports have had to equalize 2 versus 2, make that a 1v2. Ghost is doing a lot of work right now, sitting on that line of sight rotation between Hookah and Billiards, which has caught the side of Nevermind so far off guard. They did very good in the early round on this attack, took out the roamers, went for vertical play, and even took down a couple of key players inside of sight. But what they couldn't manage was to cover for themselves when it really came down to it. C4 will come up. Will that be found by Beam North? One little gas ring goes off. That is to close off Blue Stairs, but he will actually get the plant off, kicking it into a post-plant 1v2. But no, Taurus connects through the sofa right there. And that is going to be Jitterbooyah's third round, mostly down to Ghost and Adi doing some ridiculously good work, one on first floor and the other inside a site, as we will see in the instant replay, and then Taurus finishing it off for his team with a little bit of a spray from the SMG 11. Nevermind Esports not really sure where they fell apart, but fall apart they did, as their push into Hookah Lounge was denied. Unfortunately, they could not recover when they needed to. They did equalize the man count again. It went from a 3v2 to a 2v2. But with Ghost and Taurus remaining, Jitterbooyah were not about to relinquish control of this match, the control that they have gained so far. 3-0 is the scoreline going into the fourth round, and we'll be headed to first floor Blue Bar and Sunrise Bar.
Oh boy, so close for Team Nomad Esports, yet so far, even with that 1v2 post plant, they just immediately shut him down thanks to Taurus with an incredible SMG 11 headshot. With that, Jitterbooyah yet again in a very winning spree here, winning 3 defending rounds. This time they'll be back to the same site that they were in round 1. This time it will be the same opponent's mix, with the guard holding in maybe in towards the aqua or in towards the second floor of Billiards room. Sorry,
10 seconds
I do have to
remaining.
apologize for that. Maybe we might see one of the attackers try to hold in towards the roof, try to box them in. You know, one pushing from Hookah, one pushing from, you know, one who's trying to push in towards the kitchen, so that they'll be able to box the attackers slowly and then eliminate players one by one. Especially on this side on second floor Billiards room, in which Nevermind Esports, most of you know, the pushes that we do get to see from them is just direct gunfight. We don't see any vertical line of sight being, you know, vertical pressure being placed here from Nevermind Esports. It's just a normal, you know, just head-to-head gunfight, in which most of the time do get to see them try to go for the trades. There are some in which they do need to be careful, and then that's going to be the Vigil. Boy, that is not good here. God, even he could have, you know, kept his position hidden, but with the amount of gunfire he used to take out that drone, will be able to alert the attackers, saying that there is one trying to hold in towards the office. With the attackers being extreme careful here, he could be able to go for the scan of the footprints to reveal God's location, but he doesn't require that. He already knows where his exact location is, and he's going to be able to get one kill. Shocking, on the other hand, gets but Swaha, unfortunately, in towards the Aqua, decides to head in for the aggression, but the G8 LMG will win that. Taking out Ghost puts in a 4v3 2-3 situation. Although Shocking is still in towards the Cool Vibes hallway, Warlord needs to be careful though, because he doesn't have any information, and Shocking going very aggressive at that specific position, decides to fall back at the wrong time. Warlord doesn't even know that he has changed his position in towards the coach room. He actually sees the gun, he has to go for the shot, go for the pre-fire, gets the shot, a double kill coming in from Fatty Widowmaker, taking out Shocking, as now it is a 4v2 situation with the Kebi calls coming in. They have the mute jammers, all they have to do is go in towards, but Beam has an idea on where exactly his location is. Will the name gets a kill? No, it does not. Instead, it's going to go a bit of a damage in towards Warlord. Surprisingly enough, a second nade comes in from Taurus, will deal some major damage in towards the rotation of Blue Bar, as Moose takes a good amount of damage here in towards the smoke gas canister, but it's going to be Warlord yet again getting another kill, taking out Addition, as it all goes down to Taurus in a 1v4 situation. He sees one, can he get the shot? No, it does not. It's going to be Fatty Widowmaker getting the final kill, taking out Taurus, as Nevermind Esports will win round 4 first floor Blue Bar. As we take a look at it in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, after a total of 3 rounds, one on the side of Team Jeter Vyuha, Team Nevermind Esports have finally put their round in the attack rounds. Well played from those teams, but now their job isn't done just yet. They still have 2 more rounds on the first half to see whether they can be able to equalize the round. As we proceed to round 5, first floor kitchen will be the side with the same operators being picked. Let's see how it's going to go down.
Nevermind Esports doing very well in that previous round, allowing themselves to sort of unshackle and play to their strengths, and they did very, very well indeed. Their droning was on point, and their utility clearance, or whatever they needed to clear, was also very, very good. More than that, they were outsmarting Jittervuya, which seemed to catch the defending team by, just a little bit of surprise. And that is where we find ourselves right now. Nevermind Esports have finally taken a round, and a much needed one. Some could say very desperate round that they needed to take, and they will be the ones to be better for it. Only 2 rounds to go before they can equalize, and 2 rounds to go in the first half of the round conversion, which means that on round 7, Nevermind Esports, should they take these next 2 rounds, will go 3-3 against Jittervuya, going on to the defense on Coastline, allowing themselves an equalized situation where they can make amends for their otherwise disastrous first 3 rounds of this match. Right now, Jittervuya, on the other hand, with the defense shifting to first location, realizing that, okay, Blue Bar might not be the best site to pick after they've seen it once already. Let's not go there again. Let's go to kitchen and maybe go to hookah after this round, regardless of what happens in this particular round itself. Jittervuya themselves need to keep changing sites, because that is when they work best, when they keep their enemies in the dark. And Nevermind Esports, if they are allowed to read into the strategies of Jittervuya, then the attackers will have the advantage by knowing exactly the counters they need to go for. Fatty Widowmaker very carefully pushing up onto the position of the Vigil. They know roughly that he's in theater, but they don't know exactly where he's hiding. The drone will be caught by Mozzie's Pest. Unfortunately, the Zofia will have to take out her own drone. Fatty Widowmaker can't even push, but no, God will get taken down by the Zofia, going for the upside down rappel, but I don't think Obatsaw knows he downed him. Doesn't matter though, as Fatty Widowmaker will take the kill, and a grenade will also go off to make sure that Vigil stays dead for this round. Minute 30 remains on the clock. Nevermind, a good early kill, much quicker than their previous previous round in attacking this site, and with that, Jittervuya are at a disadvantage.
Well, with the Jackal using the secondary shotgun to make that vertical lines of sight in towards the kitchen, the defenders, they did lose guard in towards the second floor penthouse. They still need to be careful though. Since the attackers have gained control on second floor, Taurus needs to be careful on that vertical line of sight. A servo base is being used to open up the hatch, I believe. No, he actually used it to open up lines of sight into towards the vertical line of sight. That's a very interesting way to use the A7 recharge to use that vertical lines of sight. But for Nam and Esports, losing a lot of time here. 40 seconds left. The attackers made that vertical lines of sight, which should force the defenders to be in a very different position. But Moose needs to be careful because there is a deployable shield, there is that barbed wire, and also Taurus with the smoke gas canister. They don't have to worry about it though because we still have had a Widowmaker taking out Taurus so that the attackers can go for that plan. But here comes Adi yet again denying the plan in towards the default. The C4 comes in. Will it connect? Yes, it does. Adi with the double kill. And so does Rose taking out Paddy Widowmaker. The Jackal goes down with these two, Ombat Swaha and Warlord in a 2v3 situation. They've lost a lot of man count. They've lost a lot of time. They need to make a push. Warlord not being able to find one, whips out the pistol, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Jetruha winning round 5 yet again on first floor kitchen, losing a lot of time just to try to take out God in towards the second floor theater. In the end, it's just going to be Jetruha winning that out in first floor kitchen. As we proceed to the last and final round of round 6, where the site will be on Blue Bar and Sunrise Bar. Talking about it, it was the first round that they did pick. Jetruha did win it out. They had a bit of a problem in round 4 where the attackers did gain that maximum potential in towards Billiards Room. But this time, will it be different? Will it be a 5-1 or will it be 4-2? We're about to find out. We're about to find out in round 6.
Well, all I can say to that previous round is Jetruha most certainly made me maybe eat my words in that round as well. I was, talking about how Nermad Esports taking out the Vigil a little bit much earlier, in fact, all things considered, compared to their first attack on the kitchen site was going to help them make vertical lines of sight, was going to help them get the kills, and initially that seemed to be the case. It was a 3 versus 5, but then they started losing bodies in a heap. And, one question has to be asked is how did the Mute get away with throwing and detonating that C4 in a service entrance and then surviving the IQ, who was a Warlord, I believe, going off, trying to go off with the G8, firing away all of its 50+1 magazine. I mean, oh boy, there were some very questionable decisions made by Nermand Esports towards the end right there, and that highlights another problem with this team, their decision-making right towards the end. They could have gone for a better push somewhere that was slightly more weaker-handed by Jetruha, and maybe Kitchen could have been that side. But again, given the way Jetruha's remaining players played that round, maybe no side, was very effective. Maybe no side could have been pushed, and they decided to go for service entrance, and that was in their mind the best area to go for. Fatty Widowmaker, is going to find one more in the meanwhile. That is Ghost taking care of an early drop onto the Legion, once again very much required, and now he knows that God's below, but it won't matter. The Hunter becomes the hunted, and the Vigil will take the first kill. Now that his position has been given away inside of offices, you have the upside down rappel coming his way, but God is undeterred. He's gonna see the ace, and he's actually gonna get it. Tries to run away, but will be defragged instantly by Ombatswa, who was there in time to at least secure the kill, if not protect his teammate. 3 versus 3, but Nermand Esports have lost bodies in situations that they really shouldn't have. And once again, this attacking team is slowly being pushed into a corner where they may not be able to get out of.
Well, 3v3, there is a chance for Nermand Esports to win it. They have a good amount of time here, 1 minute 20 seconds. They're still having problems on trying to find the other 3 operators, but Ombatswa doesn't have to worry about it, taking out RD right off the bat into towards the Sunrise Bar. Again, Taurus in towards the Blue Bar, and he's going to get one more kill, taking out Beam Dolokpur. That's going to be a quick relief frag, as again it's going to be a 2v2 situation. Ombatswa going for the plant, and smoke gas canisters will be used to try to pull it out. Ombatswa taking quite a lot of damage from the smoke gas canisters, but it's not going to work out well. Taurus will be able to deal some good damage, but that is the Sophia. She'll be able to go for the withstand, but Shocking is there to instantly go for that denial. Laura goes down to Warlord in a 1v2 situation. Shocking is going to go go for that defuse. The push comes in, will be able to deny one, but here comes Taurus with an instant refrag. And it's going to be Jeter Vyuha yet again, winning round 6, first floor blue bar and sunrise bar. As we also take a look at that in the instant replay, that would conclude the first half of first half of Jeter Vyuha's defense. As we proceed to the second half, round 7 is going to be Jeter Vyuha on attack, having a huge win rate of 5-1. That will be a high round conversion rate coming in from Jeter Vyuha, and also has the higher chances to be in the score. But although maybe they could be in the second position, since Throw Syndicate have a highest round count of 14. And even if Jeter Vyuha did get that high round conversion, maximum it would be around 7. I wouldn't say 7, it would be around 6 round conversion rate. So it might go for second position or third position, having a total of 12 rounds. Has a higher chance of getting into Div 2, but who knows? In a game of Siege, anything can happen. And talking about the scoreboard, we still have 2 more matches to go, ladies and gentlemen. We have Wolframite Esports versus Throw Syndicate, and Spectre Gaming versus Clickbait to decide who is going to be promoted to Div 2 and who will be relegated to, who unfortunately will be eliminated from this tournament. Don't have to worry for them. Season 4 registrations are still live, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to head on into the competition, make sure to head to the Esports Club. Link is in the description. Solos or squads, you name it. We have it. Go. What are you waiting for, guys? Just go register now. If for Siege fans right out there. But for now, let's just head on in for the second half, round 7, as Neumann Esports will be on defense 5-1. Jeter Vyuha needs 2 wins on attack, and let's see if it's going to be a flawless win on the second half, or will it be Neumann Esports going for an incredible comeback.
I like how Fatty Widowmaker decided to go for an aggressive early spawn peek towards the ruins, only to realize that, wait a minute, probably nobody's actually spawned there, and I will have to fall back. Now, of course, something to add to the whole league standings and who gets promoted and relegated situation is neither me or Baba actually have the faintest idea how the round conversion is actually calculated, ladies and gentlemen. We have some idea, but there's a bunch of maths involved, and neither of us are particularly brilliant at maths. So, it is what it is. We just go off of what we feel like it would be, and usually we sort of manage to match with what the end result turns out to be. For the time being, however, Shocker, he's trying to find somebody, and that is the Legion towards Sunrise. We'll see him, but can't get the kill because of that hard wall towards the Sofas area. Moose is hiding right behind that, and a deployable shield to protect himself from the Sunrise entryway, and that's going to be his savior, but he's actually pushing out pretty aggressively as well. Will be seen, will he get the kill, or will he be killed? He will get the kill. One at the very least. He knows that there's another one coming his way. Taurus has been taken down. Literally his first attacker, but the Ying will fire back, taking a trade, I believe. He gets team kill. That's unfortunate. Ghost, arguably the worst time to get a team kill, and that too on the Ying, which seemed to be the operator that they would have relied on the most in this push. Now, God finding Beam leaves Moose, the last man standing. His position given away via Jackal Scan, and he will go down as well. The Twitch takes another life, and suddenly you have Nevermind Esports on the on the back foot. They are a little bit low on the man count, if you will, but Jeter Vyuha have only one more person, if you will, for this push to be made. It's a 3 versus 2 situation, and Ghost trying to push up with the Jackal Inox scanner up and ready, trying to see if he can find a footprint or 2. I think he saw one, but he can't exactly go for that scan. Fatty Widowmaker waiting in the same place where we usually see a smoke play, the sofa area, the pink sofa area. But he will actually get a kill. That's Adi taken down. A big drop happens. That's another one. The Sophia gone on a beautiful peek onto the big window. Is going to find him the kill onto God. And then Ghost pushes up and finishes off the round. It is Fatty Widowmaker, ladies and gentlemen. And that hashtag I spoke of not too long ago is certainly being proven to be at least a little bit true. We'll see that in the instant replay. 5-2 is the scoreline, as Nevermind Esports coming on the defense will take round 7, pushing things into round 8 and denying match point for the side of Jittervuya. It could most certainly happen that they make a big comeback from this position, and if they do, then they will certainly have made a historic one for Division 3. Six pick coming out from Shocken, out of the Ying into the Lion. All right, looks like Jitteria is slowly going no holds barred with the Jackal Lion combo coming out along with Zofia. There's a little bit, just a hint of
Attackers need to
that
locate and defuse bombs.
Operation Chimera spice that's being added to this mixture. But how tasty will the final product be? Let's find out in the 8th
Attackers
round.
have discovered the location of a bomb.
Round 8, Naman Esports still back in the game 2-5. They still need 3 more wins to equalize the round against Team Jetter Vyuha. Talking about the attacks right from the beginning itself, the site being on second floor hookah, we did get to see that unfortunate team kill from Ghost. Hopefully we won't be able to see that team kills coming in, especially shocking though,
10 seconds
since he
remaining.
was playing as the Ying, this time he'll be playing as the Lion instead. So
5
Widowmaker
seconds
this
left.
time will be playing as the Womai with a total of, I think he still has a total of
Attackers are
3,
heading out to defuse a bomb.
the magnet needs to be able to deny some of the smoke grenades being thrown out from the attackers, which will give them the higher chances of getting those kills if the attackers do try to go for that plant. Although talking about the information games from the drone works, they're not using that much. You still have Ghost to give some viable information to where exactly the opponent's location is, and so does Shocking this time, since he has the E1D. He still has the hard breach, so he'll be able to use it to at least open up some of the hatches, in which there is one hatch in towards the second floor penthouse. We'll see what's going to happen next. With the drone was coming in from the attackers from Shocking, we'll be able to detect where exactly Warlord's location is. That an interesting crouch rotation being made here. Warlord needs to be careful, because that is the Lion trying to find one. He'll be able to detect where exactly Warlord's location is. Will we see a blink fire? Yes, it does. Throws a Griswold mine to make sure that he'll be able to get that beautiful information to see whether he's entering in. And that information will be relayed. One in Hall of Fame. Moose is already pushing in to try to get the kill, but God is here to save the day. He's the head of the Sophia and gets the kill with the DMR. Shocking with yet another kill, taking out Warlord. And now they have the complete control of second floor master bedroom from the penthouse and theater. That they need to be careful of. But Swaha inch towards the billiards room, going for a variety amount of pre-fire, but unfortunately gets tagged from both the Jackal as well as the Lions E1D. Oh boy, this is not going to look out well here. God is still here with the F2 taking out Swaha, and now Enam and Esports in a very difficult situation. 1v5. Widowmaker with the Vamai, MP5K in hand. He will push in, doesn't see. Yep, he sees the Claymore, will be able to deactivate it, but the drone works. Might be able to give. No, there you go. The information will be relayed, I believe, from the gunfire itself. But the attackers already have control in towards the side. They have to go for the plant, in which Widowmaker decides to push in. He actually sees the Twitch, gets one. He still needs to find 4 more. The Ghost been eliminated. He gets another one, taking out Taurus. Still needs to find 3 more, in which Ghost is already pushing in to go for the plant in towards the kitchen. And with it, the push from Widowmaker still needs to find one, but no, it's going to be a post-plant situation coming in from from Jetter Vyuha, with the DMR being very efficient, and it's going to be Adi to get the final kill, taking out Widowmaker. Jetter Vyuha winning round 8. First floor kitchen goes to them, as they will be the one in match point, ladies and gentlemen. Jetter Vyuha in match point. Round 9 will proceed. And Esports need to figure out a way to get those wins as soon as possible. Starting off with the numerous amount of problems that they do have to realize. Since they will be bringing in the Lion, they will bring in the Jackal. They could bring in the Calf to try to negate Jackal scans, or bring in the Vigil to try to counter Lion's E1D. You have numerous amount of choices. You could be able to deny some information, try to bamboozle the attacker's opponents to try to get those kills. But this time, it is much more of a risky pick here, because since you are picking the Cav, you either have forced to pick up an option of either an M12 or a SPAS 15. I hope that's the name of the weapon.
Attackers need
And
to
also
locate
the
and defuse
Luaizon,
bombs.
which deals a total of 65 damage with the suppressor equipped. Cav, she used to be in the meta way back when her Luaizon used to have a total of 95 damage. 95 damage is a lot. Yes, there was a damage drop off with the gun, but if you do try to get a beautiful headshot with the low eyes on, oh boy, that was a lot of problems for the attackers to deal with one specific
Bomb
operator. But
located by
still,
attackers.
it is viable. They can be able to negate those informations. But it's just my predictions. Maybe it could have worked out.
10 seconds
Vigil.
left before
But anyways,
insertion.
I'm just talking way too much about this. I'm just gonna give the mic back to Jack and let review how
5 seconds
be in match.
remaining.
Well, curiously enough, I do have something to
Attackers'
add to
objective
what you
is
were
to
saying
defuse
just
the
a second
bomb.
ago, Baba, about Caveira being brought into play from the side of defense. Right, never mind Esports, sure, they have gone for Caveira plays before, and to a certain extent it's worked, primarily because Caveira is a lone operator, right? She, up until she gets an interrogation off, she doesn't really become a team player in the same sense Jaeger or Womai or Capcan or even Doc are team players. All of them can actively or passively contribute to what their team is doing at any given point in time. But Caveira needs to complete a certain specific set of events for that information to come into play. In the meanwhile, Ombotsa is going to go down. Unfortunate, shocking, free firing through the window of VIP. He's going to get one, but Fatty Widowmaker is going to find God. In the meanwhile, we're going to have to continue our conversation later on as the Lion scan will find Omai's position, and moves will go down. In the meanwhile, Taurus taking down the Mozzie. Another big drop from the side of Jiravia, who are on match point looking to make this round their own. Fatty Widowmaker going for a couple of bullet hole peeks right now, but his position given away by the drone from Ghost is going to make things infinitely harder for that lone man on a second floor. Beam and Warlord down below in sight are going to have to be very careful with how they choose to push this, but a little bit of verticality never goes amiss. Warlord will remind the Lion of that angle already existing, making sure that Jiravuya are not allowed to get a little bit too far ahead of themselves. Jackal scan goes out. Fatty Widowmaker's position given away by that same scan, and shots will be fired, but he is still alive somehow, and the Womai will fall back towards reception. Minute 10 remains, and a little bit of saw breach is coming out from Adi from Courtyard. But Jackal scan reveals that there is a Womai, very close to him, and barely avoids getting headshot himself. He's got to be careful. Adi, that man is playing deployable shield on one side and reception desk on the other, and trying to juggle a fight on two fronts. Like I said, isn't always a good idea. Another Jackal scan has gone out once again on that man, Fatty Widowmaker, and the Womai is leading Jiravuya into a wild goose chase. If he is not taken down, then the attackers might get distracted for too long. Taurus has sensed this, and he's trying to push in towards the bathroom beam. He's heard those footsteps, and he's going to get the headshot beautifully done to find Taurus. 3 versus 2, as suddenly Jiravuya's attack is in the disadvantage, and they will lose another to Fatty Widowmaker, and Warlord finishing off the final kill. Never mind, Esports will take kitchen and service entrance off the back of that Womai. Oh wow, I butchered Womai's name right there. The Womai playing on a second floor, doing some really good work, staying alive, wasting time, doing what he can, anything he can, and that is that man, Fatty Widowmaker, sitting on 14 kills at the top of the Nevermind Esports leaderboard. If we can see the scoreboard one more time, there we go, 14-1-4, and that put into contrast against the rest of his team really brings to light the fact that he has had to do quite a lot of work for his team today. Nevermind Esports, not so
Attackers need to
much
locate and defuse bombs.
as they, unfortunately, the rest of them, while their support has been fairly good and their kill conversion has also been fairly good on the other side of Rose Swamp, the first half was certainly not their match. Right now, we've got this match going ever so closer with 3 rounds to go for Nevermind Esports if they want to push for this overtime situation, and if they are able to, then oh boy, color me excited, because that is one way to end the year when it comes to competitive
10 seconds
siege
remaining.
in our region. But of course, all of that is just speculation. Right now, we'll be
5
heading
seconds to go.
into the 10th round. 6-3 is the scoreline. Jiravuya and match
Attackers
point,
are moving
but
out to
Nevermind
locate a bomb
Esports
and defuse
have that little spark of a comeback.
Well, a spark is spark is all it needs to light a fire. And that's exactly what Nomad Esports is doing right now. They just need to survive those 3 rounds on defense to hopefully be able to win it out or try to equalize the round count against Jeter Fuha. And talking about that, that journey is a lot. With Taurus already using the track stringers in towards the hookah balcony to make sure that there won't be any runouts, surprising runouts to try to take out any particular
Attackers
player
have
in
located a
towards the
bomb.
window of billiards room. They'll now proceed to push in. Widowmaker still in towards the billiards room, and so does Beams. An interesting use of the deployable shield, and also some bullet holes being made to try to eliminate the players who is trying to push in towards the aqua. Widowmaker, he hears one of the particular players, doesn't see one. That's going to be Gridlock, still holding the angle of the billiards window, and Widowmaker needs to be careful. A lot of damage being dealt. 2 bullets in which Widowmaker needs to be careful, peeking aggressive. The Lion Scanner will come in, which would give a lot of problems. But here we go. The information will come in from the Jaeger, and God will gladly take on Warlord on the other hand, taking out Adi as the DMR is still in towards the roof. The high ground for Lion. All he needs to do is to find out a particular roamer who decides to roam back to a position and capitalize on that situation. Jackal will be able to track Warlord, in which he'll be pinged for a total of 4 times, and so does the Lion's EDD. Oh boy, Warlord.
Bomb has been located.
He is forced to fall back in towards the side, try to bait the attackers out from that specific position, but no, he still needs to wait for 2 more for Warlord to resume back his roaming duty, and with it he will be free of the Jackal scans, as the magnets will try to capture one of the projectiles. I believe that's going to be one of the Gridlock's track stingers. Talking about the man count, it is still equalized 4-4, but the amount of HP that has been decreased from Nomad Esports is very concerning. Beam needs to be careful on that aquarium balcony, because there is God still holding that specific angles. It's basically a showdown or a stare down, as I might to believe. One tiny little movement is all it needs to get those kills. The Alibi's hologram, though, will be able to detect one in towards the roof, and the Twitch is gonna get taken down from the smoke. This is not what I expected, but an immediate refrag will come in, but the DMR is still here to get back the control of the Aqua. All Jackal needs to do is get the control, but here comes another denial from Widowmaker in towards the second floor hookah as the smoke will come in. They have to go to the front. It is a 2v2. The push will come in from the DMR, and now it is a 1v2 situation. Widowmaker in a 1v2. Can he get it? He will push in from the rotation of hookah. All he has to do is just deny the plant, but it is too late. The wall bangs will come in. Can he seize the head? No, it does not. Shocking. Patiently waiting for the DMR. Gets one shot. Can he get the second? No, it does not. Widowmaker. Alas, the amount of times he tried to clutch it out, this time he won't be. With Jeter Viha finally winning their attack rounds, they'll be able to win against Team Nomad Esports 7-3. And what a good attempt there for Nomad Esports, especially Widowmaker from the Wamai on defense, winning at least 2 rounds on second floor hookah and first floor kitchen. Unfortunately, in the end, it wasn't enough. Widowmaker with a total of 15 kills, whereas God on the side of Jeter Viha gets a total of 9 kills. So what a way to end the first match of season 3, but we still have 2 more, ladies and gentlemen, and we are very excited for those matches. Currently, Jeter Viha will be happy that they will have a higher chances to be promoted to Division 2. That is huge for Team Jeter Viha to have that good amount of morale boost. But the way how the amount of problems that Jeter Viha was facing right in the attack phase, I hope that they'll be able to practice more, scrim more, check out the ward, try to see what mistakes that they're doing on map coastline, and then come back stronger in Div 2, and hopefully they'll be able to, get promoted to Div 1. Who knows? I see some major potential in them, but also, how about we just, talk about it and relive the moment? Try to talk about the entire match on what exactly happened between the teams of both Nomad Esports and Jeter Viha. Talking about Jeter Viha, though, the entire 5 defending rounds did go to the side of Team Jeter Viha. An absolute, a good drone placements. I do have to apologize. I just cannot believe I said drone placements on defense. I was trying to talk about the way how they were pushing aggressively in defense, the way how they're trying to get those refrags, and also using the smokes to their fullest potential. Whereas Nomad Esports having a lot of trouble just to get into the sites because they're mainly concerned on taking out the roamers first. Yes, they did take out the roamers, but they only had 40 seconds left to push in towards the strike to get those kills, and they were forced to either go for a post plant, in which it will always fail for Now Mind Esports. They've done that for the past 5 rounds. They've only won one, which was on first row 2 bar, in which there was a good attempt here. I believe that was a round. Yeah, this was the round on round 4 where he did get to see we did get to see Warlord making an impressive play, and so does Beam with the calls from the Kebby. It did work out well, but in the end, in the second half, we did see Nomad Esports on defense trying to get those wins, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. A well played from Jetrovia and also a good attempt from Nomad Esports.
Most certainly a very, very good attempt indeed, but Nevermind Esports really just weren't there, especially in that first half, going 1-5 down, allowing Jetrovia some really dodgy situations, like allowing them to win some more than dodgy situations, especially this one, Warlord. Excuse me right there. Yeah, had he known that Taurus was already pushing up while Shokin was going for the counter defuse, he would have prioritized his kills a little bit better because he had some time to work with before he had to go for the counter defuse denial. Unfortunately, he didn't, and that put them in a very unfortunate position. However, MID Esports were not to be denied. It was Fatty Widowmaker really making plays starting from round 7, and at one point, I believe in the second to last round, when that man was on 14 kills, the rest of his team, as I was told by our admins here at the Esports Club, Fatty Widowmaker at 14 kills had the same number as the rest of his team combined, and that's, again, like I said at the time, that doesn't exactly look too good when put in contrast to the rest of Nevermind Esports. However, like I said before, Nevermind Esports are a team that can do quite a lot. All of us here at the Esports Club realize and acknowledge the fact that they have plenty of potential, but something seems to go wrong for them every single match. Something's holding them back, and they are the only ones who can figure out what it is and play to their strengths to get rid of it and face that weakness head on, turning it into a strength. The last round that we just had, of course, unfortunate for Fatty Widowmaker. He potentially could have even had the clutch, but it was not to be, getting shot down by the wallbang. I'm not sure if he saw the lion or not, but, you know, he did go down to the gridlock at the end. The plant happened, and there was, unfortunately, no coming back for the side of Nevermind Esports. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a quick break before we come back with the second game of the night. And before we go into the break right there, we will be reminding our viewers that Season 4 registrations are still live, and the link is down in the description below. So if you want to be a part of the qualifiers of the next season, be a part of the big leagues, then head on over to the Esports Club with the link down in the description below. We've got registrations for teams and for solo players looking for teams as well, and we hope to see you in the qualifiers, maybe even in Division 3 next season. And with all of that being said and done, we will also see you just after this short break. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta and Raman Eisen, as we are here for the second of the 3 stream matches of the final day of the Esports Club Pro League in 2020. As you know, like we've mentioned before, season 4 begins on the first week of January 2021. There will be a bit of a break between the end of the tonight and the first day of season 4, but it is a break for the New Year's where we all just sit back, relax, enjoy some time with our loved ones. But you know, like I said, 2 more matches to go, and the second one will be going live on your screens right now. Wolframite Esports taking on Throw Syndicate on the map of ye old favorite Clubhouse. Going live on your screens with the players in the band phase already going into a Thatcher band to start things off. Interesting band right there, you know, very standard, all things considered. Thatcher on a Clubhouse, a band that we have seen all but a million times, and today we will actually see an ace band from the side of Wolframite Esports. Nice band right there. The Ace, a very good versatile heart breacher, somewhere between Thermite and Hibana, who can take up many roles, all with the safety of being able to throw his heart breaching gadget. He as an operator, is very powerful, and him being banned is something of a Wolframite Esports classic, if I may say, because on Clubhouse you don't really get to see Ace being banned, especially in Divisions 2 and 1. Every team wants to play him, and they sort of are okay with playing against him, but Wolframite Esports don't want to give their opponents that advantage. They will ban the Ace and retain the original heart breachers of the game, and then of course there's Maverick, who is quite literally the every man's no man, as I like to say, because he is everything that a hard breacher should be, but also he packs a blowtorch. Not really an advanced gadget, if you ask me. Meta and Valkyrie will be the other 2 bands of the night, and with that, the band phase have been concluded. Round 1 will be underway, but before we get to that, let's have a look at both the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Wolframite Esports, we got Pruxnav, Dhanu, Vergix, Hypnotez, and Botnik, and from the side of Throw Syndicate, we've got Killsteel. Excuse me, out there as the game loads real nice and quickly. There we go. Killsteel, Hecko, Easy, Shazam, and Cheesy Chimkins to light up our screens tonight in the end of year holiday spirit. With that being said, once again, I've kept the man from the mic long enough, although not as long as the previous match. Baba Gusta, take it away.
Well, thank you so much for that, Jack. And talking about Praxnap, though, I think he told us to, he said his name was Pronaf, not Praxnap. So maybe I think it's better for us to, call IQ as Pronaf.
10
So
seconds left.
is it Pronaf or Pranaf?
See, if you ask me, that's very many spellings for what ultimately sounds like
Attackers
Pranav.
are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So technically, do you want to call him as Praxnap or Pronaf?
I'd rather say Pruxnav. Honestly, sounds cooler to me. But I will acknowledge that yes, that name is probably supposed to be Pronav, but Pruxnav sounds cooler to me. So I hope you understand if you're watching this, Pruxnav.
Yeah, no hard feelings, man. Anyways, as we proceed to round 1, Basement Church will be the site, and with Cheesy Chimkins, with the deployable shield being placed in towards the tunnels. Oh no! Oh no!
I think we spoke about him a little bit too much.
Yeah, I guess so, because that is yikes. Well, he will be revived from none other than Hypnotez with the Pronav. Alright, I'm gonna call Pronav from now on. With him being in 10 HP, Shazam will try to defend in towards Blue, and Hecko with an angle in towards the kitchen. Although he do need to be careful about that inverted rappel. There is a high chance where the defender might catch the attackers off guard with him being in a very specific position. Also that Electrical being placed in a very safe position would give Wolfman Esports difficulties in opening up the walls on kitchen, since they did, however, ban the Thatcher, but they do not require that, as one frag is going to come in and it's going to be easy, taking out Pronaf. Unfortunately, it was a very quick refrag from both of them, as a total of 2 GSG9 operators have been taken down instantly, as it is now a 4v4 situation, with Sophia pushing casually in towards the construction. He will win that gunfight against the MX4 Storm, as Projects takes the kill off of Killstein, making it a 4v3. This time the man count advantage is in towards Wolfman Esports, and Shazam still in Arsenal room. He still needs to be careful though, because the amount of vertical line of sight that the attackers have placed, the attackers also do need to be careful that they have a C4 in hand, in which they can be able to try to get a total of 2 or 3 kills, which will be very difficult for the Maverick though, because he needs to use that breaching torch to open up the hatch. And talking about the hatch, it requires a lot of time, which the attackers do not have. 50 seconds left for the attackers to make their move. As you noticed, will proceed to give some information in towards the Moto Garage, or maybe in towards the blue, and so does Danu, in which the attackers are actually confused at
Attackers
35
have located a
seconds.
bomb.
The attackers still haven't opened up the hatch, and neither tries to gain control of Basement Church, in which the defenders will do exactly that. They will succeed in taking out the Electroclaws, and now they will open up the hatch as it reaches to the 25-second mark.
Not a whole lot of time left for Wolfman Esports, as Hector has got these bullet hole peaks ready and waiting, but he's been thrown down as well. Shots are about to be fired in his direction, and the Kaid has to be super careful. Bundle is caught in the Melusi, but it'll be the Maverick to go down bottom first. And will the Ash go down? Yes, she will. Shazam finds another. It's all down to Hypnotize. He's found one, but he's only got a few seconds to do this. And can he find the Kaid? He does, but Jeezy Chimpkins
Operators, you
will
have run out of
simply
time.
hide, because that is all that he needed to do. Hypnotize, unfortunate for the man, as we will see in the instant replay, his team fell apart far too quickly. Wolfram Esports could not recover from that situation, putting that they unfortunately put themselves in, because they took far too long to get those hatches open. Moto hatch not open, kitchen hatch not open. Their time was wasted elsewhere, excuse me, and unfortunately they could not make up for that. And that was some beautifully coordinated play, excuse me, from the side of Throw Syndicate to waste the time of the attackers, holding on to their basics, because really at this point in time it has just been the first round. Both sides are just kind of feeling each other out, making sure they know what their enemies are bringing,
Attackers need to locate
and that is
defuse
something
bombs.
you usually see the basics come out for the time being. Wolframite, unfortunately, Hypnotize could not get those kills in time. Maybe, one could make the argument that had he found the headshot on Kaid earlier, he could have turned around and booked it into blue. But there were only 3 seconds remaining in that 1v2, so really, it didn't look too possible for him in that situation. Regardless, right now we're going to be moving into the second round. Gym Bedroom, the site of choice. And a little trend that we're seeing emerge, or be reinforced in Div 3, is teams starting with a different site, and moving to this a lesser played site before going into the top site. I say top in quotation marks, of course, because in the previous match we started off Coastline with Blue and Sunrise Bar. This match we start with Basement Church, a more traditional site for Coastline, and then we go to Gym and Bedroom. Interesting decisions from the side of Throw Syndicate, as they will try to take another round, and then another, and then another. But for the time being, it's only been one round, and there's a lot of action still to come.
Well, we are waiting for that action to arrive from the attackers, but first they need to remove those important barricades that have been left them behind. And talking about barricades, I was just trying to talk about the problems that they need to have, like trying to open up the walls, try to get inside the site, try to take out those deployable shield, eliminate the operators one by one, and go for the plant in the site, which will be very difficult though. We see Botneck trying to open up that half wall in towards the hallway of Gem. We'll be able to see the leg of the Kaid. We're going to use the hard vision capabilities to try to open up, but surprisingly enough, it gets denied from. Okay, it actually gets. It's still electrified though, but will be destroyed from the electrical, which will be used to make that line of sight. Wait a minute, they still haven't opened yet.
Bomb located by
Do they?
attackers.
Did they open up the walls just yet?
Nope. The unfortunate side effect of the Electroclaw still being in play is the fact that the ash charges keep getting electrified by the wooden part of the wall still being electrified. It is what it is. It's a weird game mechanic. Don't even get me started on how any kind of physics-based solution to that does not equate. But I'm going to save myself the insanity for the time being. Botnick's going to go down. Cheesy Chicken takes a kill, and a much-needed one, as Hecko will find Proxnap as well. Wolfenite once again starting to collapse, and not in a good way. Shazam contesting Gym Window isn't going to find anybody for the time being, as Hecko has been put down to arguably 1 HP, and he will be cleaned up on as Thanu goes in to find 2, but then gets refragged inside of Logistics, and a much-needed kill is taken by Killsteal, ironically enough. Vergix and Hypnotist, the last 2 standing. Hypnotist will fall, not knowing that there was the Goyo still in construction, and now it's all down to Vergix, who gets found by Shazam, and Throw Syndicate will do a great job at taking round 2. A much better round overall, especially towards the end. The only main issue they had was with Dhanu, and even he was shut down quickly before the damage got out of hand. We'll see that in the instant replay, as it is 2-0 going into round 3. Throw Syndicate throwing caution to the wind, quite literally, as they will go to second floor CCTV and cash room. And before I pass it on, I just have to say, I like the fact that we naturally transitioned roles while trying to explain the physics of how wood being electrified doesn't really check out. Wouldn't you agree, Baba?
I mean, as the great man would once say, parkour!
I understood that reference.
Attackers need to locate
Oh
and
boy, it
defuse
brings
as
so
many
much
bombs as
memories,
they
you know.
can.
The number of, sitcoms that we watch a lot,
Oh, yeah.
man, it just brings a lot of memories from that itself. But for now, let's just focus into the match at hand. Round 3 will proceed. The site will be on second floor CCTV. With Throw Syndicate winning 2 defense rounds, they will now go back into the main site here. The main site where most in-ranked matches and also, this side was mainly picked in the first round itself, but looks like Throw Syndicate have something different in mind. They just
10
decided,
seconds
like,
left
since
before
we're,
insertion.
most of the players would actually go for CCTV, how about we just change
5
the
seconds
sites a
left
bit?
before
First, let's
insertion.
just go to the basement, then go to the second floor gym, and then try to go into a
Attackers must
CCTV. Looks
locate
like it
and
did work
defuse
out
the
well here
bomb.
for Throw Syndicate, but Rule from Mites, they need to be careful here. Shazam with the spawn peak, a very interesting spawn peak. They're right into towards the gym. Doing some major damage to Botneck. Oh boy, it's not going to go in well here. One leg shot is more than enough to get the kill, and also Praxnaf. Oh boy, this is not looking too well here for Esports. They did, however, down one of the players. Will it work out? With one impact needs more than enough to confirm the kill to take out Killstreet. But looks like he's actually going to go for the revive. Zofia goes for the drone walk, in which one of the attackers will go down. It's going to be Botneck in towards the second floor CCTV, and I believe that was from... Oh boy, that was actually from the Electroclaw, but will get revived back up to a total of 10 HP and will proceed to open up the walls in towards CCTV. Although you do need to be careful though, because
Attackers have
a
located
bit
the
of
bomb.
the Electroclaws will deal at least a total of 2 damage per second. So if he just stays in that line of sight for a long time, unfortunately he will be down, and also gets taken down immediately with the Electroclaws being placed. Anyways, just for now, the attackers having a lot of problems with the amount of prefaz being placed here from Echo, but will finally open up the wall on CCTV. But they do need to be careful of the roamers in which Throw Syndicate are still alive, especially Shazam dealing some major damage already. 2 players gone down, Vergix and Botneck, in which Botneck did revive back up to 10 HP, but this time it is Vergix who's gonna go down and will be hopefully revived back to 10 HP. But talking about that execute phase, though, all Throw Syndicate needs to do is just like, they have a higher chances of win because they have high amount of HP and they have a higher chance of winning in gunfights, knowing that they're losing a lot of time. They only have 1 minute left. Zofia is waiting for the Maverick to complete his work, but oh boy, that is not a good way to do that, Botneck. I do know that you were trying to stay alive, but still not being able to successfully open up that CCTV wall is going to cost a life then and there itself. But Dhanu, will he be able to find one? The SMG-11 tries to get one with the shotgun, deals some major damage, but it's going to be the Capitao winning that gunfight, whereas Hecko goes for that immediate refrag. A really good place coming in from Pro Syndicate, but Thrown Up on the other end gets one, and an immediate refrag comes in from none other than Hecko once again. Shazam with the MP5 picking out Vertex as it all goes down. Hypnotize pushing in towards the catwalk, and he gets immediately taken down from Hecko once again. 3 kills to Hecko with the AUG A3, and they'll be the one to win. Round 3, second floor CCTV, 3 defending wins in a row as we proceed to round 4. The site will either be on the basement church. There you go. Basement church will be the site. And talking about the attack coordination there from Esports, oh boy, that's not a way to open up the wall. Granted that Maverick was Maverick and Prona, both of them were in less HP, and yes, they had to be careful on opening up the wall. But if you do not do it at the right moment, stating that Maverick takes a lot of time to open up the wall, he took around a total of 1 minute just to open up the CCTV wall. At that specific time, at least the other attackers would have been able to at least try to take out the roamers, try to get the control on Garage, try to push in slowly and progressively, or maybe open up the construction wall instead of the CCTV and then go in for the plant on the cash room, in which Wolframite Esports did not do. And with it, Throw Syndicate will win 3 rounds on defense. But this time, the side being on Basement Church yet again, the Kaid being brought out. It would have been better in the ban phase itself to ban the Kaid so that opening up the hatches would be way much more easier, but they decided to ban out the Valkyrie instead, due to which the Valkyrie will give numerous amount of informations being given from the attackers, especially from the kitchen side itself, to go for that C4 plant. That's exactly where the inverted repel comes in from the Hibana. You have that Excaro Spellist, you'll be able to open up the kitchen to get that control, but not being able to take out the Kaid will give much stronger hold on defense. As we proceed to action phase, Pro Syndicate 3-0.
Fourth round will be underway. 3-0 to Throw Syndicate, who are very much, very much in the lead. Wolframite, unfortunately, not really looking too good. Once again, it was down to that man Hypnotize right towards the end, but there was only so much he could do. Shazam trying to figure out, there we go, the Melusi placement on that church door, on Moto, and he will, the Banshee, bulletproof gadget that it is, annoying, and it will be in play yet again from the side of the defense. It's very interesting to see how, out of all the attackers and defenders and whatever other operator combinations have been introduced in years 4 and 5 and all the many seasons of Rainbow Six, Ace and Melusi have arguably caught on much faster than anybody else has in this in competitive siege. I mean, Lion caught on very quickly, and he was very broken when he first came out, so it's not as bad as Lion used to be. Lion definitely completely took the game by storm, but it is very fascinating to me how these two operators came in and they just added to the meta so well that they took the competitive scene and made it their own. Speaking of that, and that's why we're seeing so much Melusi. The Ace getting banned as well from Wolframite. Otherwise, we would have seen a ton of Ace, lots of kills from the AK-12. Just in the last match, we saw Ace nearly every single round that was played, and that match was on Coastline, ladies and gentlemen, where Hard Breach doesn't necessarily net you a whole bunch of kills or even give you really good lines of sight. Now, Hypnotist, this time on the Maverick, going for the hatch breach of Moto. Interesting way to do it, but Easy's going to find one that's done taken care of. The Zofia will be spotted in the cams in the meanwhile as the Jaeger goes for the kill, but will not be able to get taken down by that same Zofia on stage door, and knows that there's somebody above. That is the Mozzie, but cannot get the kill. Killsteal will fall back instead towards bedroom, because he knows that challenging that vertical angle is not going to be something he's able to get away with for the time being. The Maverick is very careful about that Mozzie, still on second floor, so Zofia is going to give chase. I'm not sure if Pucksnav has completely thought out this decision, but it won't matter. Killsteal practically hands him that one. Coming back from the main stairs, deciding to drop the hatch, and Hypnotist going for the plan. There's one attacker in dirt, one defender, and that's the smoke comes out, gets the smoke grenade off before he could be killed in the meanwhile, but the plant has gone off. It's a post-plant situation. Pucksnav for the triple kill, and Botnik with one more. Season 2 will go down, and there goes Hecko as well. Wolframite coming on strong quite strong indeed in the fourth round, as we'll see in the instant replay. Beautiful headshot by Praxnav, going into a win for this match, a round that is finally taken by the side of WLF. 3-1 is the scoreline going into round 5, and much like the previous round, we can finally say that Wolfer might have taken a step in the right direction. But can they continue on this trend, or will this first half be a repeat of the Nevermind Esports Jirivia games first half? And are we about to see a 5-1? A 6-pick goes out into the Vigil from Easy, but interestingly enough, he has sacrificed the Jaeger for his team. Interesting decision making from the side of Pro Syndicate for sure. Absolutely no utility denial outside of the electrical interference run by the Kaid and a little bit of the Melusi Banshees. But other than that, there's not much that can stop a whole bunch of grenades, concussive mines, and flashbangs flying in the face of the defenders. And I sure hope Throw Syndicate thought that one through, because if Easy goes down early, he doesn't. But on the rare occasion that he does, it might have been a bad call.
5 seconds to insertion.
Now, of course, that is only speculation. I should probably, preface with that. But, speculation it adds to this situation. And again, the visual pick out of the Jaeger. That's why it's interesting. If it were just a Jaeger and a visual, I wouldn't really be speaking about it too much. But Easy's gone out of the Jaeger into the visual, and that's why this round is going to be just that little bit more interesting. Now, I realize Baba has been waiting because I kind of gave a long pause, and he wanted to take it. I do apologize, and oh dear, Killsteal's moonwalking. Nope, he'll be here. All right, no disconnections tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Very good stuff. Baba, back to you.
Well, I mean, I do have to agree some of them, especially with the 6-pick switching from the Jaeger to Gumai. Jaeger is very essential, but now let's just focus on the match. We see Tanu with the F2 tries to contest a gunfight against the Vigil, who was in logistics. He still has kill steal to with the support. He needs to be careful though, because the attackers are slowly gaining the control in towards the second floor gym. The prefires will come in from the Maverick. Won't be able to deal some damage, but Easy in the other hand though tries to contest in towards Jacuzzi. Danu's drone will get caught out from the shock drone, in which Mozzie will be happy. A total of 2 drones get caught off from the Mozzie, which he will have some good information. But I believe that's been taken out here from the attackers of Wolframide Esports. Their main focus to take out the roamers, aka the Mozzie and the Vigil, who are in together of the second floor bedroom as well as logistics. They do not, however, take them all out. It will be difficult for the attackers to try to eliminate them as soon as possible. Vergix with the flashbang, try to make sure that there won't be any impact tricks. And with the nade to try to take out the electrical, in which it will succeed. A good job from the sledge and also from the Hibana. Shazam trying to go for the denial. Will it work out? Yes, it does. But only 2 Excaros pellets will be detonated, which all Hibana has to do is to use 2 more, whereas Easy gets 1. The Vigil K1A in towards logistics office with a huge amount of pressure being induced from the defenders are finally free. Can he get the second one? Yes, he does. Can he get the third? Easy needs to switch out from the secondary, but it's going to be Praxnav getting those 2 kills. I'm sorry, Pronav getting 2 kills with the Zofia primary weapon, in which it is now a 3v3 situation. 30 seconds left. Maverick has the need. Can be able to go for the throw once more. Shazam is waiting for the Hibana to use their Excaros pellets to open up the kitchen hatch, but unfortunately she's been long gone. And with that, not having any information yet, Pro Syndicate just have to worry about 3 of the defenders, especially Hecko, who is still in blue. He is still making that same angle, but is it going to work out is the biggest question here. 1 already gone down from Tanu, in which he'll be able to take out the twist. Can he get another one? Yes, it does. Tanu with a double kill will switch out the pistol as he slowly goes for the flanks. Can he get the last one? No, it does not. The AUG A3 will finally be able to shut down 1, but it is a post plant from the attackers Wolframide Esports. They're starting to finally get back, but Hecko, he still has a chance. Both of them are in so low on HP, and Hypnotis will be the one to get the kill, taking out Hecko. Wolframide Esports, after a long amount of problems that they do have to deal with, they will finally win one more attack on Basement Church. As we take a look at it in the instant replay, we now proceed to round 6, the final first half. but we have to go for a tactical timeout. Actually, a, a technical pause because Pronaf has unfortunately been disconnected, but not to worry, he will reconnect back as soon as possible. So but for now, let's just talk about the first half that has exactly happened here, ladies and gentlemen. Throw Syndicate not having any problems dealing with Wolfram Esports' style of attack for the past 3 rounds. First, they picked Basement Church, and second, they decided to pick second floor gym, and it did work out well for them. Talking about Basement Church's defense on round 5, going for a 6 pick from the Jaeger to the Vigil, it did actually work out because the what Wolfram Esports did is that we did see both of the attackers trying to hold the roamers to make sure that they wouldn't make a play, so that the other two, whereas the Hibana and the Sledge used his hammer to make vertical lines of sight, so that he'll be able to use the grenade to take out the electrical. A very well made decision making here from Wolfram Esports to get that win. Although when it comes to eliminating both of the roamers in the mid phase to try to take, they did take out the Mozzie, and the Vigil, he did get his luck trying to take out both of the players, but unfortunately he didn't have enough amount of magazine in the K1A submachine gun to get those kills. He was forced to pick out the secondary, in which it did not work, whereas Praxnaf was the one to shut down both of the roamers, pushed in towards the side, go for the post plant, and get the win on Basement Church. What a way, what a team coordination coming in from Wolframite Esports. And talking about Throw Syndicate, we did get to see the same positionings being played, especially from the Kaid, who is holding in from the blue, because he knows that the attackers are pushing in from the Basement Church. He knows that there won't be any particular two attackers try to push in maybe from the oil tunnels or from the blue stairs. It was more of like adaptive for Wolfram Esports to know what kind of positions that they're playing in, since they did lose a total of 3 rounds. Now they're starting to fling back, and so they actually did win it out 2 rounds on Basement Church. The only problem is, will we see Basement Church yet again, or will we see second floor gym and bedroom? Jack, what are your thoughts?
For the most part, if you ask me, Baba, I do think we will see gym and a bedroom, primarily because it was a very well defended and very well taken side by the side of Throw Syndicate, and they need all the help they can get if they want to make this a 4-2 going into round 7 roll swap. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the side of Throw Syndicate will be going onto the attack in round 7, and that will put them at a disadvantage, primarily due to Clubhouse's defender sided nature. Once that happens, it will most certainly be very tough for them. Should it be a 3-3 and Wolframite goes into the defense in the advantage, and that, of course, is going to make things a lot harder for them in this situation. And, you don't want to be on the attack with Wolframite slowly gaining momentum and going on the advantage. That's the biggest thing right now. Wolframite Esports, if they manage to take this round, wow, all right. Sometimes my throat really likes to dip on me, doesn't it? But coming back to the point at hand, Wolframite Esports, should they take this into 3-3, then they will have the momentum advantage going into defense on Clubhouse. And given everything, sure, Operation Neon Dawn has changed how the whole utility setup works and how things are different between both sides. But at the same time, it hasn't exactly completely negated the way that all of the utility flow and denial and whatnot works. That dynamic still sort of exists, and like I've said before, we're in this transitionary period where things can seem a little different but very familiar at the same time. It's going to take a season or two after Neon Dawn ends to to really see where we go with this meta, or the meta shift that Rainbow Six Siege is currently undergoing. With all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're going to have to go into a full rehost because of issues surrounding the player rejoining the lobby. And unfortunately, the pause timer only runs for 10 minutes, of course. So we don't want to use up all of the pause timer's allotted time and allow for any future pauses should a disconnect happen once again. However, if I'm not wrong, this should count as Wolframite Esports' rehost as well, and they will have had to use up their rehost to get their player back in the lobby as quickly as
Yeah.
possible. And they're going to need to do that as soon as they can. And hopefully they can do that very, very soon indeed. And, we're just going to be waiting and watching to see what these teams bring out for us. Because, again, teams like these are where the real interest lies. Sure, you have your Union Gamings and LYSC Valiants and whatnot. Well, maybe Valiants aren't exactly the best comparison here. You have your Union Gamings, you have your L2Ks and your Monka S's, but teams like Valiant, teams like Exterminate Esports, who go from Division 3 all the way up to Division 1 and then give the big boys of the region a run for their money. Those are the teams that we really love to see. And it all starts here in Division 3. Some could argue it all starts in the qualifiers, and most certainly you would be correct as well. But qualifiers is its own little journey of going past teams of the same level playing against you to get into the division stages. And then the story goes into its second phase for any team that has a prospect of becoming the very best in the region. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we love to see. We've got Valiance and now we've got Exterminate Esports. We do hope that season 4 will also bring us a new team that, sure, any team qualifying in season 4, regardless of how good they are, won't exactly make it to Division 1 at the end of season 5, but it will still have been a good journey to see them top 2 tables back to back. And had the league gone on for more, we would have seen them go to Division 1. Again, stories like these never really end. And while this league may end, the Pro League itself, the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, stories like those continue on into future tournaments and future matches. And someday, of course, our region, South Asia, will see a really high level team able to go toe to toe with the best of the best in the world. And that is the story of our region, provided everything goes well. Of course, worldwide news isn't exactly the very best right now out towards the West. I'm pretty sure anyone who's kept up with that will know. But when it comes to keeping up with news, something that we should also tell you is that there aren't exactly too many days left for registrations for season 4 qualifiers. And if you want to have a chance to get into Division 3, you and your team, then the link is down in the description below. Head on over to the Esports Club and get yourselves registered for the 4th season of this Pro League, which will be the first Pro League season in 2021, which should make for some very interesting competitions indeed. We have to see you there. Link is down in the description below. Get yourselves registered and get yourselves over to the 4th season of the Pro League, as we will be coming back with the Wolframite Throw Syndicate match in just a quick second. All the players are in the lobby. We're just making sure the round history and the bans are added in, and we will be going forward with this as soon as possible. I kind of got hyped up there for a second, but this check usually lasts a little bit longer than I tend to give it credit for. But I'm just hyped to get back into the games, to take a line out of Foxy's book. I'm really hyped to get back into these matches, and I'm sure if he were here, he would be as well. I mean, Foxy himself currently making sure his system doesn't implode. It has a history of doing that, unfortunately. And if he is watching this stream, Foxy, we do wish you the best of luck with rebuilding your system. But right now, we're going to be going back to the Wolframite Throw Syndicate match, resuming on a Clubhouse in a 3-2 position in the favor of Throw Syndicate. But Wolframite have taken 2 back-to-back rounds, and we are going to be headed into the 6th one. And looks like it will, in fact, be Gym Bedroom. So let's join our players live once again in Gym Bedroom in the pick phase as round 6 is underway.
Oh boy, round 6 is underway. The final first half for Team Throw Syndicate to be on defense, and they've decided to pick a site of second floor gym and bedroom. A very expected site, just like we did have a conversation with Jack asking that which site will be the one that Throw Syndicate will decide, and he proved it to be right. The site will the site
Attackers need
will
to
be
locate
second
and
floor
defuse
gym /
bombs.
bedroom, in which Pro Syndicate will make their last stand on defense. Talking about second half though, will be very interesting since Wolframite Esports, if they do however win this side, they'll be able to equalize the round, making it 3-3. And talking about map clubhouse, it's been a while since we see any clubhouse matches because way back in season 2 or 1, we used to get a lot of clubhouse matches. Now in season 3, we get a lot of Oregon matches too. To be honest, I mean it is the most played maps in the history of South APAC region, and especially in Operation Shadow Legacy. So this time in in
5
clubhouse,
seconds to
it
go.
will be a very familiar map for both of them. But the only thing is
Attackers are
who
moving out
will
to locate
be
a bomb and
better
defuse
in this
it.
map. We're about to find out in the action phase. With Cheesy Chimpkins already placing the Electro Claws hidden with the softies wall in towards the CCTV. Very good concealed gadget right from that specific position, although it will get detected from the IQ scanner, in which the attackers do not have currently at the moment. Although if they do figure out where exactly the Kaid's Electroclaw is being placed, they will somehow be able to remove it. But for now, Vershik's main focus is to open up the wall on constructions. You need to do this as quick as possible to make sure that there won't be any tricks happening from the defenders. And talking about defenders, they have Echo as the Jaeger killsteal with the smoke with a total of 3 smoke gas canisters, and also Easy with a total of 2 Vulcan shields. Killsteal currently in towards the logistics office, in which he did expect a hash being broken down from that exact location, as well as the Maverick, who is doing his job opening up the walls into towards Jacuzzi. Although Hypnotist did deal some major damage into towards the electric from the electric laws, and also the pre-fire will come in from the sledge into towards the drone hole to make sure that there won't be any peaks. The Maverick will be able to throw one to take out the electro. Yes, it does, but on the other hand, we see Dhanu in towards CCTV taking out Heko. That is a big major kill. One of the Candelas gets caught off from the Jaeger ADS as Hypnotis takes a major damage,
bomb has
and
been
Ying
located.
unfortunately starts to tumble down in towards CCTV, as Easy will be the one winning the gunfight with the Vector SMG against the Ying.
A good job right there, requiring to take out Dhanu in that
Attackers have located
situation.
a bomb.
Easy standing up for his team as the wall will finally be made soft by the Maverick. Hypnotist getting his work done, and the soft wall will be breached by Botnik, who is there for that exact reason. Easy, on the other hand, knows that there's somebody potentially close to construction, and that is Vergix, as the smoke himself will be spotted by the drone. Callouts will be given, but the man has fallen back to a better position. Killsteal waiting for somebody to drop the hatch, and that is Hypnotist, but more drones are coming in, spotting that SAS defender's position, and now he's going to be in a tricky spot if he is unable to secure a couple of kills. Botnik's going to find Cheesy Chink into the meanwhile. Easy finds another one as the man count is equalized, but the refrag is taken, and the slice will go down as well. The Malusi comes in to take the Maverick down, and suddenly it's a 2v2. Many bodies have fallen, and it's all down to Kruxnav and Botnik, the last two standing against Shazam and Easy. Both of them are very much willing to take these gunfights. They need to be very
15
careful,
seconds
these last two
remaining.
attackers, to not fall into the line of sight. That throws Syndicate
10
after
seconds
himself. He's trying to triple for himself. The sledge is giving away his position. So has Shazam, but Botnik will go down to Easy, and that will make it a quad, I believe, for the Goyo with the Vector in hand, doing some work. That man is going off today. Easy, taking kill after kill, making sure that Throw Syndicate will put a dent in the formative momentum of the side of Wolframite Esports. And that means Wolframite will no longer have the equalizer going into the defense here on Clubhouse. Sure, they're going into the defense on the other side of round 7 roll swap, but the side of Throw Syndicate have the advantage, and they work their best magic when they are in the advantage. We're going to find out exactly how far they can take this on the other side, as round 7 will be underway on Basement Church and Arsenal Room.
Well, with the role swap, we will be seeing Throw Syndicate this time on the attack, where we see a total of 3 hard breaches. The Thermite,
Attackers
Maverick,
need to
and
locate
the
and defuse
Hibana
bombs.
brought in on the side of Team Throw Syndicate. Total of 2 with a total of 2 grenades, 3 breach charges, in which it will be used to try to make a vertical lines of sight into Worst Kitchen, since they do not have a sledge. Ash's breaching charges will do the trick. in which, I mean, it's not just the breach charges. You still have, the Ashes breaching charges, the main ability, in which she has countless number of ways to make that vertical line side into the kitchen, maybe in towards the hallway. Who knows? Because there is that line of sight towards
10
the
seconds
main
to
stairs,
insertion.
towards the moto entrance, in which they'll be able to eliminate at least one of the
5 seconds
attackers
left
by
before
surprise.
insertion.
But interestingly enough, we do see Hypnotis playing the mute jammers in towards the
Attackers' objective
construction,
is to
so
locate a
maybe
bomb
we
and
might be able
defuse
to
it.
see some roam game coming in on the side of Ultimate Esports, especially one would be Hypnotis with the shotgun, maybe Botneck or Dhanu, who will try to provide some support. No, I guess not. He's just going to place the jammers in towards the construction to think that they are in construction, so that the attackers might waste their time trying to take out the roamers. I believe, I don't know if it's going to work out well, but still, it is one gadget not being able to use, but there is one drone who is trying to gain some viable information towards the second floor. So who knows, maybe they might take the bait, maybe not, but we're about to find out in the action phase itself. The attackers already gaining control in towards second floor CCTV. They're just kind of worried that there might be a particular player in which Easy is trying to investigate. These the mute jammers, which would try to, say that there might be one particular player goes for the fleet fire in towards logistics, but it is all just a bait. The bait has been taken from Throw Syndicate, and it just worked out for around like a total of 20 or 30 seconds. But for now, Wolfram Esports needs to focus on opening up the hatches, in which they haven't done it just yet. They're just kind of worried that they might do some roam game and then eliminate all of them by surprise, in which they don't have to worry about it for now. Heko with the first frag, taking out Dhanu. Not quite sure where exactly that positioning is. Maybe in towards the blue stairs. Actually, no, not from the blue stairs. It's going to be from the main stairs in towards the bathroom. A very important kill coming in from Heko as we proceed to the 1 minute 20-second mark. Wolfram Esports yet again in trouble, 4v5.
Most certainly not a good position for Wolframite to be in, all things considered. Dhanu going down early, not something they needed, and that will be in this round. Easy in the meanwhile, going for some vertical plays on that main stairs hallway. Will he see one? Oh, looks away at just about the wrong time. Could have seen the feet of a one had he attempted in that situation, as Easy is on this main stairs door right now. Shotgun shells are being pelted towards Heko, but he will survive as Shazam does a bit of damage to Botnik, but can't quite find the Melusi again as that peak has been denied. But unfortunately, that will also deny any kill coming the way of the attackers. Throw Syndicate, unfortunately, not able to find these defenders, is wasting a lot of precious time right here, and that is going to put them on the back foot going forward in this round. Botnik will be down and he will be taken out. A much needed kill, as it is 3 versus 5, but 3 defenders deeply etched in the site won't be much of a problem for Cheesy Chimkin as he finds one, and now the push is coming in towards Church. There's pressure. He's going to down and kill one. No, he can't get the kill, as that is his position given away. Hypnotis goes for the C4 play. Will he find Killsty? No, he doesn't. Heko takes a ton of damage from that. However, he's still not killed. As the thermite gets down to the new Presnap will find one, and there's the move to find another. He can go for the counter defuse right now, should he wish to. It's a 1v2 suddenly, and Cheesy Chimkin is down. Hello, Wolframite Esports. They will actually make it work, and Cheesy will go down as the counter defuse will go down as well. As we'll see in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful coordination and gunplay from the Kaid and the Mute to take the round for their team and to make sure that the side of Throw Syndicate do not have a big advantage going into the rest of this match. 4-3 is the score line, and we're going to be headed to CCT Win Cash Room in the 8th round. But interestingly enough, something that myself and the admins were talking about earlier, seeing what the matches were for today. This was the one game that all of us had trouble predicting. We sort of were going back and forth between Wolframite and Throw Syndicate, and ultimately landed on that it could go to overtime. And certainly, seeing the round score condition right now, it could. It's getting very close indeed. 4-3 is the scoreline. The only thing that Wolframite Esports hasn't done so far is take the lead. If they are able to, then Throw Syndicate will be in a heaping helping of trouble.
Well, talking about trouble though, throw Syndicate, who are in the lead 4-3. And if you do take a look at the standings, they are the one who is in the first position of Division 3, having the highest round
seconds to
conversion
go.
of 14. If this match goes to overtime, Throw Syndicate, Throw Syndicate's round conversion will hurt a bit because
Attackers are moving out to
that's
locate a bomb.
talking about overtime matches. That's where the round conversion hits so hard. And since Jeter Vyuha winning against the opposition team, will be able to put them in the 12th point, putting them in third position. And Wolfman Esports, who were in third position, currently in fourth, and trying to get back to the spot in which Throw Syndicate. They're not just going to give up, they're just not going to give up that easily, as I'd like to point it out. As we proceed to the action phase, Pronaf yet again with the Kaid's Electro Claws, Botneck with the smoke, with a total of 3 smoke gas canisters, and Hypnotis yet again with the Mute Jammers to delay and deny any information being gathered from the attackers. A Hecko, good use of the nades to try to take out one particular attacker. Will be able to refrag one, but Pronaf on the other hand uses the C4. Will connect, no, it does not. Here comes the nade in return, in which Pronaf be able to deal some major damage right from that specific position. Will fall back in towards the main stairs, but they will succeed. That would be Throw Syndicate, opening up the walls in CCTV. Wojcix with some quick repositioning back towards the catwalk of Garage. It is vital for the defenders to hold in from that specific position, because if the attackers gets the hold of that spot, it will be a higher chance of the attackers getting into a post-plan situation, unless and until if there is a C4 play or a smoke gas canisters play coming in from the defenders. But who knows? Still, the attackers did succeed in opening up the CCTV. Now, I believe their main focus is to try to get into the side, throw some smokes from the various spots, which should be towards the window, in which they don't have to require that. And if he gets one, can he get the second? Yes, he will. 2 kills from the R4C, as the Ash is still waiting for one more heads to pop up. He'll be able to deal some major damage towards it, but it's going to be Pronaf taking out Shazam, making it a 3v4. The aggressive push will come in, try to take out the Jaeger. He will vault in, gets the triple kill, sees the monster, can he get the 4th? Yes, he does. A quad kill coming in from Easy, but it's going to be Hecko on the end to steal off the final kill against Pronaf, as Throw Syndicate with a huge aggressive play coming in from them. They'll be able to win round 8 of second floor CCTV. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at that in the instant replay as we proceed to round 9, where the site from Wolfman Esports will be back at second floor CCTV room, and they need to be careful of plays like this. If they do not be careful about these aggressive plays, then Throw Syndicate will keep pressuring them and hopefully get the win against them. Having good amount of hopes there. I'm having a good amount of hopes there from Wolfman. I do have to apologize. I kind of stuttered a bit from that moment. I was just trying to, appreciate how well Wolfman Esports has been defending both on attack as well as on defense. Talking about defense, though, Pronaf did all he could as the Kaid tried to use the electrical to just deny the hard breaches happening, but unfortunately, not having good amount of intel on exactly what's happening from the attackers, they could not, however, defend it. But hey, who knows? Maybe in round 9 they'll be able to find some moments here with Thanu bringing in the dog, interestingly enough, with a total of 3 stim pistols. I mean, I do understand why, because Doc, he's been. He used to be in play when he had the ACOG side with the MP5. Currently, with that being taken out, Thanu only having, the dog only having a 1.5 magnification scope, we have seen less amount of dog plays being brought in from the defenders, in which we do see a higher place of Warden with the deployable shield, and maybe a huge play of the Maestro, because Maestro, his kit is very powerful though, because he has, the Alda with a high fire rate, and also total of two gadgets, which not only provide him information but also get those kills. So who knows? Maybe bringing in the Maestro will bring him some advantage as we proceed to the action phase.
Well, with the Claymores going off for the time being, the Maestro being the big change that we were talking about just a second ago, well, it's going to be interesting to see what, excuse me, Throw Syndicate's reaction to that operator is going to be. That's a very cooked grenade Unfortunately, it's not going to find any operator, but it will find the bandit batteries. And that was what was required right there. No bandit tricking, not today. And Hector doesn't even need to use his second grenade, but hello, it's an all-man push going into sight. And the person who secured Botnik goes down. There goes Tanu as Easy takes another one. The Hibana pushes in, finds the Maestro, walks right past the Jaeger, turns around, kills him. And there we have Brux now taking 2. And a third. It's a triple kill for the bandit. Gets the pistol out, but can't find the forge. And it's Shazam to finish it off. And we will see that in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a round from the side of Throw Syndicate. They did not like that little crouch spam from a few rounds ago. If we harken back to that 2v4 from the Kaid and the Mute, of course, it was a 2v4 after all. The Kaid, just before taking down Cheesy Chimkins, did a little bit of a crouch spam in his face. And I don't think Throw Syndicate quite like that. I mean, you might be confused to why I say that. I mean, definitely an all-man side push doesn't indicate that. They want to be done with this, and most certainly that 6-3 score is going to be reflecting that sentiment. Beautiful push, really, and completely catching Wolframite off guard as we'll be headed to Basement Church and Arsenal Room in this match point.
Attackers need to
10th
locate
round.
and defuse bombs.
Well, round 10, 2 aggressive plays from Throw Syndicate to win round 8 and round 9 of second floor CCTV. From at Esports, they have to be careful though, because no matter how many players were holding in towards the cash room, they could not get those refrags in which they are forced to play in the Basement Church. They did, however, win Basement Church in round 7, though they did not had a lot of wins in towards the CCTV. Now they're now back at the same side where they did win down to, and I do agree.
10 seconds
I do
left.
kind of agree why, because most of the time,
5 seconds.
not being able to win on CCTV. I'm to be honest, I'm just lost of words here, ladies and gentlemen, because most of I've seen aggressive plays once, I've seen rushes once, which did not work out well, but going for an aggressive push 2 times in a row and Throw Syndicate winning out 2 aggressive rounds in a row is just astonishing for me to see that. But for now, Throw Syndicate, I do hope that they will try to push towards the side methodically, or we might see EG just immediately push in and just start eliminating players one by one. Although the Ash will not destroy the default cams, in which Wolframite Esports will have good information on where exactly EZ's location is. That would be the Ash in towards the garage catwalk. Shazam patiently pushing towards. Needs to be careful that there is Danu in towards the stairs, in which Heko has already gained control of stock. He will use his breaching torches to open up the hatch, but he needs to do this fast. Easy on the other hand tries to. He's just in towards the garage catwalk, tries to provide some pressure in towards the defenders, forcing them to play in a very awkward situation, in which Danu will now force back towards the site and decides, you know what, I think it's best to just wait for the attackers to push towards the side. Maybe we'll be able to get the drop on them in the execute phase. Talking about time though for Throw Syndicate, they only have a minute and 40 seconds left, with Danu taking some major damage, but we still see Heko successfully opening up the walls in towards the stock, and the attackers will slowly push towards the site and make their move.
Grenade's going to be cooked on that blue hatch for the time being, but it's not going to find it. It'll be just some utilities taken care of. And, all things considered, taking care of utilities in blue is going to be very important for the side of Throw Syndicate. Hecko right now going for Moto Hatch. Pretty late, all things considered, and he's trying to be careful about this as well, making sure that the little border on the other side of the hatch protects him from getting shot from below. But will it matter? Easy's already pushed in to Moto. The goo mine is in his shin, so he's got to be careful because there is Vergix close by. He's going to take out the goo mine, and that has been heard. Vergix is peeking through a tiny angle. Leaves the Ash. No, he won't. There's still the Kaid on the other side as well. Plenty of angles being watched to make sure that the Ash does not get into sight at all costs. Shazam's going to take a bit of damage in the meanwhile, as it's going to heat up very, very much right now. Flashbangs are coming in as Denial will slow down, and the gunfights will begin. The Kaid facing blue stairs with Tanu, trying to find anybody on that secret stairs area. The Ash is gonna have to push in any second now, but Easy is very apprehensive of this because he knows that there's not much he can do if he pushes in and gets taken out. Kills is gonna find Botnik in the meanwhile, starting things off as Easy goes in. He finds Brux now, drops one.
seconds left.
Can't find Persics just yet. Will he see him? Yes, he does. Does he get the kill? No. It will be Shazam to get that. But Thunder finds CCTV in the meanwhile. Will he get refragged? Yes, he will by Hecko as the Ash goes down. It's a 1v4, but the plant has gone off, and Hypnotize will fall. Throw Syndicate. Late round aggression within the last dying seconds of the round will be the ones to win this round on Basement Church, but more importantly, absolutely shutting down any comeback potential from the side of their enemy team. Unfortunate for Wolframite Esports, but they will be the ones to lose. Throw Syndicate take the side of Clubhouse 7-3. And that will do it for the second match of the night as well. Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful game it was at the end of the day. And oh boy, there is nothing that can be said that hasn't already been said. Yet another 7-3. It took a different road for sure, but it ended up in the same score count as the game previous. And we'll be going into Reel of the Moment to talk about this match just a little bit more, dissecting where Wolframite went wrong, where Throw Syndicate went wrong, and where they can do better should they be rewatching this VOD in the future. And with that, Reel of the Moment will be live on the screens right now. And it starts off all with that 3-0 initial domination by Throw Syndicate.
Well, where do I begin? Throw Syndicate. Oh boy. What an amazing match we did get to see. And also, Throw Syndicate, congratulations to them. They have a total of 15 points altogether, being in the first position. Congratulations to them. They will have the high chances of being promoted to Div 2. But for now, just talking about the match though. For the past 4 rounds here, Basement Church, second floor gym and bedroom, and CCTV, the defenders had absolutely zero problems dealing with Wolframite Esports' style of attack. Of course, we did see round 4 where Wolframite Esports decides to try to adapt to what kind of plays that they're doing, and especially this round where Pronap did get a total of 3 kills, pushing in, getting those 2 kills in towards the hallway, and then getting those win. And I mean, it's just, other than that, it was just all the entire round was just Throw Syndicate match all around. Yeah, there were most of the times where Wolframite Esports need to be careful when it comes to gaining information towards the drones. When it comes to the ban phase, it would have been better to not only just ban Thatcher, but also ban Kaid in the process, so that they'll be able to open up the hatches much more quicker and effective in towards the kitchen hatch as well as the stock. Forcing them to bring Maverick would waste a lot of time for the attackers to open up one hatch. No, just opening up one hatch would be around 30 seconds. Just imagine opening up 3 hatches on a map in Clubhouse. That will take around a total of 90 seconds, in which the Kaid plays a vital role to make sure that the hatches will take a lot of time. In this match, we did get to experience a lot of triple kills, a lot of quad kills. We almost did get to witness an ace from Easy, which it did get denied from Echo. But yeah, talking about that, round 7 Basement Church was the only round where Wolframite Esports did handle it out extremely well. And then it was just Throw Syndicate making sure that they'll be able to win it out. 2 rushes in towards CCTV. I mean, with Praxnav getting that triple kill, Easy was like, you know what, I'm just going to go way much more aggressive in towards construction, get 3 kills, get control on the site, get the win. Guess what? We still have yet another round with the site is on CCTV. How about we just go on aggressive again on CCTV and get each and every player's kills? That's what Throw Syndicate did, and that's what they won it out. An impressive aggressive plays coming in from Throw Syndicate, and also Wolframite Esports. It's best for them to just understand, what happened, what mistakes that they were doing, especially in the defense side itself. They should have watched their backs. Well, each and every defenders were looking at one single direction rather than watching the opposition's backs, which gave Throw Syndicate the opportunity to eliminate every single one of them in one go. Wolframite Esports have a lot of they have a lot. Yes, they have a lot to learn. I do have to apologize. Sometimes my pronunciation goes, way back top and then just goes down immediately. So I do apologize for that. Anyways, talking about it, Wolframite Esports, They have a lot to learn when it comes to a game of Siege. It's better to just give some communications, watch your teammates' backs, make sure that if there is one particular player holding in one specific direction, make sure you'll be able to cover the teammates' backs so that they'll be able to get those kills in time. So talking about it, that would be the end of Relive the Moment, but fear not, we still have one more match to go, ladies and gentlemen, and this match will be the final match of Div 3 and also Season 3 of Rainbow Six Siege. It's going to be Spectre Gaming versus Team Clickbait on map Cafe Dostoevsky. A very interesting map that we're going to go in. And also for the viewers who are watching the stream, season 4 registrations is live, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to head on into the competition, make sure to head on into the esports club, solos or squads, you name it, we have it. Go for the registrations, go to the qualifiers phase, and who knows, you might be in Div 3 matches, and also a superstar might be born. But for now, we're just going to take a small break. Well, we'll be right back with the third and final match. Until then, go grab some popcorns, go hydrate with some water. We'll be right back.
Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the final game of Division 3 of Season 3 and of the Pro League in 2020. After this match is done and dusted, we will be seeing you with Season 4 qualifiers. Link still down in the description below, by the way. And that will be in the first week of January 2021. But of course, that's still a long ways away. Right now, we are at the beginning of Spectre Gaming taking on a Team Clickbait on the map of Cafe Dostoevsky, and we'll be joining our players in this interesting turn of events already. Clickbait are on the defense in the ban phase. They will be manning the defense on Cafe, not the attack for once, and Spectre Gaming might just have a chance. Looking at the leaderboard real quick, however, Spectre Gaming 5th position, not exactly the best place in the world, given that Team Clickbait, are on 12 points and are very much in the lead when it comes to the round conversion, the plus-minus ratio as well. So even if Spectre Gaming wins this, if it's a close match, then even if it's a 7-0 for that matter, the chance of them actually beating Team Clickbait into 3rd position are very slim. They are there, and Clickbait will need to lose by an appropriate number of rounds as well. But this is Team Clickbait, ladies and gentlemen, a team that has impressed us very much in this season of the Pro League. So all things considered, it should be another good game between both sides. The ban phase has just concluded, of course. Jacko, Thatcher, Mira, and Echo will be your bans here on the map of Cafe. Not really too surprising. After all, it is Cafe Dostoevsky. Standard bans are to be expected here in Division 3. With all that being said, let's have a look at both the rosters here in the lobby for ourselves today. From the side of Spectre Gaming, we got Venetaus, Delay, Pazu, Aoreo, and Noob. And from the side... From the side of Team Clickbait, we've got Luxia, still using that very, very beautiful name of You. I like doing that at the start of every game. Zam, Noxy, Gunmaker, and Kingston. And with that being said, round 1 is a go. And I've got the man from Mike long enough. Baba.
Well, we will proceed to round 1, and also this will be the final match of Division 3 and also a final match for Season 3 to come to an end. Oh boy, what a wonderful journey that we've been through. But still, the fun isn't just ended yet, ladies and gentlemen. Season 4 registrations are live. If you do want to head on into the competition, head on to the Esports Club. Link is in the description. Solos or squads will be able to register for the tournament and see whether you'll be able to be in this tournament. But for now, let's just head on into the action phase. Round 1 will proceed as the site will be on 3rd floor. But talking about the defensive operators on the side of Team Clickbait, we might be able to see some aggressive plays. You have, Luxia with the Vigil, we have Gunmaker with the Smoke, and also Noxy and Kingslayer, the Valkyrie and the Mozzie. The Valkyrie will be able to give some notorious informations thanks to her Valkyrie cams. And also Kingslayer, who did prepped up for a run out aimed towards the White Stairs window. He has the information from the Valkyrie camps. He just needs the information to see whether if there is any attackers who decides to push in from that specific site. We will see Aureo with the skeleton key to open up both of the hatches so that the attackers will proceed pushing towards the side. Gunmaker will be able to destroy one drone, in which 2 minutes are still left. We haven't seen any bodies being dropped at the early rounds, but here comes the mid phase from the attackers to see whether if they might make a play here. They still need to be careful of the smoke gas canisters, in which Gunmaker has immediately thrown to use it in towards the windows of 3rd floor bar. Kingslayer, patience is what he's going to get one. Taking out Venetas immediately, and so does Noob, going for that instant refrag in towards Zam, but not Kingslayer though. But with Zam being eliminated, it will be very difficult since the Jaeger has been eliminated, although they do need to be careful of the ADSs, in which, according to the attackers, they don't have any frag grenades. Although they do need to be careful of the East Selma breach as being thrown out, but here comes Queen Candelas trying to blind one, in which Delay gets one in that crossfire, taking out one. Luxia, on the other hand, takes out Aorio, and Gunmaker, oh boy, with the shotgun, tries to deny the Skylight push, taking out two, but that C4, will it connect? Yes, it does. Noxy with a perfect C4, taking out Pazu, which all goes down to Delay in a 1v2 situation. He has a diffuser in hand. He's going to go for the plant. He doesn't have any information here from the defenders. This can go for a higher post-plant situation. There you go. Post-plant comes in from Spectre Gaming, as it is a 1v2 situation. They need to deal with the Ash, in which they don't have any perfect opportunity, in which Delay gets one, gets a double kill, eliminating Luxia, in which Noxy, he has the information now, but will he get the connect? He is slowly pushing towards the freezer. The attackers know what kind of push that the Valkyrie is currently in. She is in the freezer with the information given via the drone, and Delay, all he needs to do is just wait. He will decide to go for that free fire, wasting a lot of time from the Valkyrie. She decides slowly inching in towards the position, and she's going to win that gunfight. Noxy will be the one to win that last fight against the Ash, and also get the defuse in round 1. Well played from Clickbait, as they'll be the one winning round 1 third floor bar. As also as the replay comes into an end, we now proceed to round 2, where Clickbait will be the one to get their start in the lead 0-1 with the scoreline, as the site will be on first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking.
Kitchen service and kitchen cooking coming out after a beautiful defense on the top floor, ladies and gentlemen. Very well done from the side of Team Clickbait, and nothing less to be expected. However, Spectre Gaming's attack definitely took them for a little bit of a spin right there. The refrag game was strong. Unfortunately, they could not take the man count lead. That was where they unfortunately failed, and that is why we saw the side of the defense run away with the round again. Spectre Gaming will have to work on that, trying to get the lead in terms of man count and not getting themselves caught out in odd positions where the power dynamic between both teams gets shifted towards Clickbait. If they can avoid that, then they will be able... Excuse me, I had to take a little pause. They will be able to make this match more of their own. I say more of because, of course, again, this is one of those matches that is slightly harder to predict, all things considered. But I would still say after that first round, Clickbait certainly has a good chance of winning it if they are able to continue taking advantage of Spectre Gaming's mistakes. More importantly, if they're able to make good of those close situations going in their favor. With all that being said, the second round will be underway. We've got Luxia on the run, this time on the Jaeger. Interestingly enough, we did see that man pick the Warden not too long ago. But he has 6 picked out into the Jaeger, bringing in a little bit of utility denial, as you should, seeing as it is Cafe Dostoevsky, plenty of grenades and plenty of flashbangs and other kinds of utilities fly all around the map. And given that there is a Ying in play, Luxia bringing in the Jaeger is a good decision. He's actually going to go for a peek outside. Will he get one? No, he won't. Does a lot of damage to Aorio, and he will fall back for the time being. Unfortunately, the most he's done is give away his position, seeing as Aorio will not hesitate away from getting those gunfights, taking the gunfights as it were, pushing up ahead for his team, being the point man of sorts. Plenty of cameras being switched around here from all sides as Kingslayer trying to go aggressive on that big bakery door. Isn't quite able to because he doesn't have the intel he needs, but Ventas will find Gunmaker in the meanwhile, and Kingslayer somehow still sitting in the big bakery area will get flashed, and he actually managed to fall back just in time. And will go for the repeak as well, but he decides not to, as he will find Delay in the middle. That's a big drop. The Ash gets taken out, and he's gonna find another one. It's a double kill for the Mozzie, as he's taken 2. Can he take 3? Not quite yet. It will be Ventas to fall to Luxia, and now he was gonna find 1, trying to get a bit of retaliation, but he will get refragged onto by Luxia right there. Once again, Spectre Gaming falling into side, or attempting to, keeps getting taken out, and they will not be able to rectify that issue. Zam will be the final kill taker in this situation, as Pazu will fall. And as we see in the instant replay, The second round will go the way of Team Clickbait as well. Spectre Gaming's attack, unfortunately, bottlenecking inside the prep room far too quickly, and they could not diversify their push fast enough to take the situation back. We're going to be headed to Reading Room and Fireplace Hall on the second floor, and this is where the real test comes in for the side of Team Clickbait. If they're able to take this round, then, ladies and gentlemen, they will in fact be able to make this play happen and go 3-0 up on Cafe Dostoevsky. I can see that smile on your face, Baba. I know that you saw the Kali pick by Noob. Unfortunately, that's been 6 picked out, and I'm sure that is much to your displeasure. I apologize. I apologize, all right, but there's not much I can do if the side of Spectre Gaming decide not to play your favorite attacker. But hey, you know, this is round 3, and Clickbait could certainly turn things around, and who knows, if they have enough advantage, they could play Kali on the other side. We've seen them do that every now and again, so I'm sure you must be excited for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. And also, I was just trying to fix out my mustache. You know, it wasn't aligned a bit perfectly, but still, yes, was excited to see a Kali being picked here from Spectre Gaming. Unfortunately, gets 6 picked off to a different operator. And I believe that would be the IQ. Now, look, I don't understand why you want to bring in the IQ, because since the Valkyrie is, you know, the Valkyrie's not been banned here from, you know, on this map of Dostoevsky. Bringing in the IQ will bring out much more, you know, troubles here.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you right here, Baba, but I'm glad to say the 6 pick was into the Ying.
Ah, all right. The 6 pick was in Ying.
Yes.
I mean, yes. Looks like I, you know, bamboozled myself today, Jack. What can I say? It's just too much alibis, too much, you know, Iana's Prisma holograms. Oh, I just can't believe I said Prisma holograms. Anyways, focusing toward the match at hand, 0-2. Clickbait winning 2 defense rounds. We see the attacker trying to deal second floor reading room. Interestingly enough, we only see Goyo holding in towards the third floor cocktail lounge. He will have some protection from Gunmaker to make sure that the hallways in towards the piano room would not have for the favor of the attackers. But for now, they're just going to drop in towards the red stairs, decides to make their plan, make their move as they're slowly pushing in. They have their drones to give information though, in which the information will have a lot of problems for them. Noob, on the other hand, will try to go for that inverted rappel. Meanwhile, Gunmaker unfortunately gets taken down. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure where that positioning is, but interesting enough, we do see a smoke being thrown out. 2 smokes being thrown out so that they'll be able to use the Ash breaching charges to open up that deployable shield in towards the hallway. That is one Vulcan shield being taken care of, and with the attackers slowly gaining their momentum, Gunmaker will somehow, you know, get waked up with a total of 10 HP, and with it, the man count is still alive. But she had knocks with an impressive roam as he pushes very aggressively towards the white stage. Will be able to get one. Zam gets the other, taking out move in a inverted rappel delay. Tries to find an opportunity, whereas Luxia goes down towards the pillars from none other than Venedis, who was in towards the cocktail lounge. We will take one as Zam decides to make some amends. It does not work out well here as the Ash gets the kill taken out. Zam making it a 3v3. The Vulcan shields will get popped off, but still, Pazzo needs to be careful of the Mozzie's pest, because if they do get a hold of that, they won't have any information towards the site, and having information for the attackers is what it needs to get that win. Will it happen, or will we see 0-3 from Clickbait? We're about to find out.
Most certainly, taking those 2 kills was very much required. Luxia and Zam going down will not be helping Clickbait in this situation. Excuse me, they're not in the slightest. But for the time being, they are yet to get into sight. That is the main problem right now, getting into sight. Pazu sees those deployable shields, sees the utilities and whatnot, and so much cover that can be employed by Clickbait, as Noxia has actually managed to make it up to third floor, excuse me. But the plant is going down, delays here for cover. Will he see the operator? No, he won't. Nox is going to take him down, and it's a 1v3 the post plant, and Kingslayer with a double is going to go for the counter defuse as well. Beautifully done with Noxie going up to the third floor as well in a very, very good flank that resulted in this round going their way. And just as we were asking, ladies and gentlemen, it will in fact be a 3-0 for the side of Team Clickbait. A beautiful defense round, excuse me. Even after they lost two of their operators, they were playing pretty well on that third floor and wasted plenty of time. All things considered, it was just a little bit of a shame that they could. Okay, I do apologize for pausing right there. It's Baba was doing something in the background. I'm gonna leave it there because I cannot describe what that man was doing, waving his arms all over the place.
I
I
was
don't know,
exercising, Jab.
expressions galore.
I was just
But
Attackers need to locate and
we will be
defuse
moving
bombs.
into the fourth round, ladies and gentlemen, here on a third floor bar and a cocktail lounge. Once again, interestingly enough, Spectre Gaming have brought in the Amaru and the Blackbeard. So it looks like they're going in for a change of plans. But will it work, or will Clickbait take another round?
Oh boy, Clickbait already in winning 3 defensive rounds in third floor bar, first floor kitchen, second floor reading room. They have to do it again, and this time it will be on third floor bar, third floor bar. And also talking about it, they will bring in some interlopers here, especially Noxy with the Maestro's Evil Eye cams, and also Zam with the Valkyrie cam. Also, let's not forget about Kingslayer. We did get to see him perform a 3K with the P10 Roni. Still remember back in those days, I used to call that weapon as a P10 Ronin. I mean, it actually looks cooler. But anyways, we proceed to the action phase. Aorio with the Gara hook will have some instant access towards the roof. Now we get an angle in towards the third floor bar. C4 will come in from Kingslayer, but to no avail. Will force out to reposition himself towards the pillars. Technically, he's just trying to go for a bait here in towards pillars. Maybe he'll be able to find one kill, in which Delay needs to be careful. Venetas, on the other hand, will try to go for an inverted rappel in towards the windows of Cocktail Lounge, as the Dronox will come in from the attackers, having intel. The standard push from the attackers, where they are in dire need of information, so that they'll be able to go for the conversion of kills, in which one of the drones will be able to detect where exactly Mozzie's current location is, and Kingslayer has zero idea. A nade will do the trick, or a push from Aorio will work out as well, as he is slowly pushing in, but Kingslayer has some other hands, trying to go for a run out in towards the pillar's entrance. The only problem is he doesn't have any information, and Aorio will actually get the best of it, eliminating Kingslayer off the board, which would give Spectre Gaming a bit of a breathing room, so they'll be able to get their main focus into the site and get those kills. Although they do need to worry about the intel in which the Valkyrie camps and also the Maestro camps have, since the attackers will be able to lose a good amount of drones from in the hands of Zam, in which Zam needs to be careful on that windows of Whiskey room, in which Noob is currently in the Blackbeard with the rifle shield. It should be wise for the defenders to try to not to go for a peek, but still decides to go for as Noxy with the Aldert gets one, taking out Delay, making it a 4v4. Zam has been flashbanged, but he's patiently waiting for the flashbang timer to go out. But I believe it's going to be a full-on frontal push here from the attackers of Spectre Gaming, as Zam gets the kill off of Noob. That is a very important one, as a rifle shield has been taken care of. Aorio still holding the angle into his piano. They don't have enough amount of time. They only have 45 seconds left. The attackers still in the cigar room, in which they have absolutely zero idea on what to talk about it. But it's going to be Aorio yet again taking out one. An instant to refrag from Gunmaker, eliminating Aorio in the process. Gunmaker, a huge plays in towards the freezer room as he eliminates one, and now it is a 2v3 situation, and the attackers have less time yet again. This is the same situation that we've been seeing for round one, where the attackers have no idea on how to counter Clickbait's style of defense. Pazu is still worried about the freezer. Luxia sees one, gets a perfect headshot, and now it's a 1v3. The Maestro Camps will come in to deal some major damage, will be able to take out the smoke. Does he take out the Maestro? No, he does not. In towards the freezer, and that pre-fire from Yalda will claim the kill on towards Pazu as Clickbait yet again in a defending winning spree for a past 4 rounds. Let's take a look at that in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed to round 5. Clickbait dominating on defense for the past 4 rounds, as the site will be on first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking.
Most certainly going to make for a very interesting other half of this match because it's 4-0. There's absolutely no chance that the side of Spectre Gaming can equalize here and now. And if they're not able to, then they will have to try and make it 2-4 going in to round 7 roll swap. They will be going into the defense that they have in mind. However, again, it comes down to if they can take these next two
Attackers need
rounds.
to
I'm already
locate and
seeing
defuse
a
bombs.
very big change coming out from them as Venetaus has decided to bring in
Attackers
the
have discovered the
fuse,
location of a
the
bomb.
man with the cluster charges and questionable talents galore. I say questionable, of course, because the exact word I want to say probably wouldn't exactly be good for the stream. So, I'm going to reserve that for later, whenever, we're talking between ourselves. Because, inside voices, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are here to achieve. That's what the real objective of this entire
10
tournament
seconds
is.
remaining.
Inside voices. That's just a joke, of course. Venetaus bringing in the fuses brings a happy smile to my face, as you don't really get to see a whole lot of fuse, regardless of which division you're in, and regardless of whichever division you're in or whichever player you're spectating, team you're spectating. Oh, well, never mind. We've got Luxia already going for a bit of a spawn peek. He's going to find Pazu. That is your ace of the board. Big drop, because that's the only heart breacher. And more importantly, there are no secondary heart breach gadgets in this attacking team, not even on the fuse. Speaking of whom, he's going to take a ton of damage trying to peek the same Jaeger, but Luxia puts him down to 1 HP and will fall back to 3rd floor. Venetaus very low, has to be super careful because there's nothing that's going to stop him from getting taken out. But on the other side, we've got Luxia taking some damage from a gunfight out towards that pillar's entry door, as the drone will be following his location and giving away intel just below the downstairs. But wait a minute, where's he going? Back to site to make sure that he doesn't get taken out by any attacker. He knows he's a valuable asset to the team, so do Clickbait, so they don't want him to be finished off early. Minute 50, and already Spectre Gaming looking a little worse for wear.
Already with the early takedown of Pazu and also Venetaus being in a very low HP from Luxia, will now hold an angle in towards Small Bakery, removing the armor panels, which would give Spectre Gaming 2 angles to look out to. One, which should be on the court window, and second from the double doors in towards the bar. Aureo and Noob will proceed pushing towards the main entrance, and Delay, interestingly enough, the castle will reinforce the castle armor panel again in the right amount of time, in which they do need to be careful of the fuse right away, in which Luxia is trying to find one, but Noxy will be the one to take out Noob, making it yet again in a 3v5 situation. The Scorpion Evo will work wonders for him, but the reload sound will give Aureo the information, and so does the information towards the drone. Free fires will come in from both Noxy and Aureo. The Scorpion Evo versus the G8. Who will win? It's just going to be a matter of time here. 50 seconds left again with the pre-fires, but Luxia again taking out Venetaus. Delay getting one. Noxy on the other hand takes out Aureo, and there you have it with the German Clickbait winning round 5 yet again on defense, as Gunmaker gets the final kill off on Delay, as we also take a look at it in the instant replay. Round 5 goes to the favor of Team Clickbait once again as we proceed to the last round. Will we see a 6-0 or will we see a 5-1? Last thing I remember, there was a match in which Deimos Force went up against LOIC Valiance on map Consulate. Although we didn't get to, watch the stream, we did get to see the final end results of it, in which it was a 7-0, in which Deimos Force won. To be honest, this was actually the first time that we get to see Division 1 where Deimos Force gets a flawless victory against LYSC Valiance with a huge round conversion rate. Will we see the same thing on Division 3? We're about to find out as we proceed to the last round of the first half, round 6, where the site would be on second floor reading room.
Ladies and gentlemen, a quick reminder to all of our viewers is that Clickbait lost yesterday after a very good fight to Jittervuya, who managed to win that match 7-5. All things considered, Clickbait had a little bit of a downer of a day yesterday. However, today, they are clearly making up for it. Spectre Gaming
10
Oh
seconds
boy,
remaining.
they are in a bit of a position, and
5
not a
seconds
good
remaining.
one. That is for certain. Team Clickbait have completely
Attackers
taken
are
them
heading out to
by
defuse the
the
bomb.
scruff of their necks, and they're not exactly letting go of this situation that they found themselves in. 5-0, going up against Spectre on the attack on Cafe, and we're about to hit roll swap. I mean, it's not a score you see too often. Just like Baba said, that Demon's Force match that we didn't get to see on stream. But, Valiants, they got, as they say, slapped, as they say in the R6 community. Unfortunately, Spectre Gaming has had a similar outing today, and Team Clickbait have certainly not been letting go of that particular, again, advantage. Plenty of drones will be coming out from Spectre Gaming. Again, nothing too particularly special that I'm seeing from them. Nothing that they're changing up, nothing that they're doing differently. They're doing a similar push every single time, and it's mostly Team Clickbait getting a bit too far ahead of themselves that gets them punished every now and again. And other than that, Spectre Gaming hasn't exactly accomplished a whole lot in this game. Sure, you can already infer a lot of that from the scoreboard that we have here already. However, there's still something to be said of the way a particular team plays in a game. Spectre Gaming have managed to impress us on the 3 matches that they did win before today. However, today just does not seem to be that day. Aoria will get taken down. Gunmaker with the first kill as he will push up to that piano breach. He hears somebody going on the rappel. He's got to be very careful right now as he could be seen and taken out, but he won't be, interestingly enough. He could go out for a peek right now, but he won't. Pazu, on the other hand, will go for a rappel as well. You've got the Nomad waiting and watching, putting out the air jabs, making sure runouts won't be a thing, but Gunmaker is here. He's waiting to make some plays. And patience is the key for that man and for Spectre Gaming. Not Spectre Gaming, excuse me, Clickbait. Nothing that Spectre Gaming has done so far has managed to really give him any trouble at all. And here we're about to have a red stairs drop and a new house drop, and that's actually going to find him. Good pincer right there, as Delay will start things off by getting the first kill for the side of the attack. However, 35 seconds remain, and Clickbait are very much in the driver's seat. They've only lost one, and that to Gunmaker, but at the cost of Aoreo, and that's a lot of utility that the attackers will no longer have access to. The diffuser gets dropped as Pazu tries to push up onto Zam, but that will be heard and punished as well. You've got the Goyo being pincered from 2 sides, but Zam will find one, pincer finds the other, and it's a 1v4, all down to Venetaus on 3rd floor cocktail. The man is alone. None of his teammates are alive, and he will go down as Kingsley will peek above from pillars. We'll see that in the instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, as Clickbait will make it 6-0, going to round 7 roll swap, absolutely steamrolling the side of Spectre Gaming. And now we are here 6-0 on the match point round, as Spectre have pretty much, there's really no metaphor that I can think of that would allow me to say that Spectre Gaming could make a comeback. The way they've been playing, it's very, very slim, and that too, it is now Team Clickbait on the attack.
Oh boy, even with the previous stream match where Clickbait going up against Jetter Vyuha on map Consulate, unfortunately they lost against Jetter Vyuha 7-5. And this time they are angry and they're making sure that they won't make those kinds of mistakes again. It's going 6-0 against Team Spectre Gaming. Oh boy, this is technically Clickbait saying a statement saying that yes, we made a mistake, but that's not going to happen this time for us, and made a remarkable performance here in the TEC Rainbow Six Siege. 0-6. And that too, this is the final match of Div 3 Season 3. And oh boy, was it a journey that we do get to witness here, ladies and gentlemen. Although I do have to remind yet again, Season 4 registrations are live. If you want to head on into the competition, make sure to head on into the Esports Club. Link is in the description. And solos or duos, so you name it, you still be able to register for the tournament. So what are you guys waiting for? Go register for the TEC Rainbow Six Siege Season 4. And let's see how well that we are going to be able to see Division 3 matches coming. But for now, let's just focus into on the match at hand. Match point for Team Clickbait 0-6, and it's going to be Spectre Gaming on defense. Delay already in towards the cocktail balcony, fails the push in towards the pillars, but will finally get the kill. Taking out Luxia already in a 5v4 situation, whereas Spectre Gaming has the man count advantage. Noxia on the other hand throws the flashbang to make sure that they'll be able to destroy the Vulcan shields. Two of the Vulcan shields has been popped here from Clickbait. Spectre Gaming doesn't have any deployable shields just yet, although you still have Venet House with the deployable shield. But now we see two of the attackers repelled in towards the terrace of North, trying to use the vertical lines of the repel angle in towards the cocktail floor, giving them a lot of pressure in towards Venet House, in which he is a bit worried from that specific angle though. But Delay, he's just going to wait here patiently. He will wait for the attackers to drop down from the hatch so that he'll be able to get the early advantage. Talking about Aureo though, he in still towards the specific position, but Delay, he gets another kill yet again, taking out Gunmaker this time in towards the repelled window of cocktail. Looks like Team Clickbait has a lot to work out with. 3v5. Luxia and Gunmaker, both of very fragging operators, been taken care of, and now they just have to worry about three supports: Zam, Noxy, and Kingslayer, in which the attackers are slowly making their push. Aureo gets dealt with a major damage in towards the repel angle from the white stairs window, but they need to make a move here. Only 1 minute left for the attackers to plan their strategy, and looks like Noxy is going to go recover the diffuser, go back into the red stairs, and tries to go for a plan. But for now, it's just 40 seconds left. Clickbait still in trouble, and Spectre Gaming haven't lost a single player just yet.
This is certainly not looking good for the side of Team Clickbait, just like you said, Baba. But Kingslayer is here to try and say something about that. He's going to find Pazu, and he has dropped the Skylight, I think, already in, but he will be found. Delay gets a triple kill. That man has been absolutely unstoppable right now. But there's going to be a kill for Zam, confirmed, a much-needed one, as Noob will go down. It's a 2 versus 2, but the Nomad is very scared of that Jaeger, who was last known to be playing in that balcony position. Unfortunate, but the crossfire is being watched as Venet House will find Zam, and Aoreo will find Noxy as well. Spectre Gaming will be the ones to take their first round, and it's the first round of their defense on the other side of round 7 role swap. At the very least, they have managed to avoid getting 7-0, ladies and gentlemen, but a 7-1 isn't exactly going to look too good for them either. So they need to keep on fighting, they need to keep on trucking, and if they are able to, then we will have a very interesting game on our hands indeed. Again, it just comes down to them winning their round. 6-1 is the scoreline, and we are headed to first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking.
Well, just like Jack said, it is 6-1, not a 7-0, but still, it would put Spectre Gaming in a good position. They need to win 5 defending rounds in a row in the second half itself. Looks like they'll be bringing in the standard hold here. Pazu with the castle to replace the armor panels in towards the courtroom, as well as the double doors in towards bar, and the third will be placed in towards the small bakery, followed up with a rotation. Interestingly enough, we won't be able to see a vault rotation, but instead it's going to be a standard rotation where the defenders can go for a sprint instead of going either for a vault, or they're forced to go for a crouch. With the defenders picks here from Spectre Gaming, we will see Noob bringing in the Melusi with a total of 3 3 Banshee Deterrent, and also a total of 3 C4s being deployed here on the side of Team Spectre Gaming. Although there might be a higher chances where they might use it to try to deny any attackers who tries to go for a vertical line of sight in towards the second floor train museum, but still they need that information in which Valkyrie scam does. If the attackers do not take care of the Valkyrie scams, it will be very difficult for Team Clickbait to even survive um, even in the early rounds or at the mid round. So main focus, if they do take out the Valkyrie cams, it's more than enough for the attackers to get their main focus in towards the side. But for now, the Dronos will come in from Gunmaker to try to make sure that there won't be any roamers trying to hold in a specific direction. Luxia will go for an aggressive push in towards the big. Needs to be careful of the C4. Will it connect? Yes, it does. No, with the first C4 frag, will be able to claim the Luxia. Will claim the life of Luxia again twice in a row. That is not looking too good here on the side of Team Clickbait, because if this happens over and over again, where Luxia gets taken down, this will be a problem for Team Spectre Gaming, for Team Clickbait to worry about in this situation. Talking about though, for defenders, an early man count advantage here, 5-4. They don't have to worry about Ash breaching charges being destroyed, but they do need to be worried about the Sledge's grenades as well as the Summer breach charges to make sure that the lobby be taken out. Sledge's hammer will be used to make vertical lines of sight in towards the hallway. C4 comes in, will it get the connect? No, it does not. Even with Aorio's good Valkyrie camp placements, unfortunately will not be able to get the kill as of yet. Aureo still in towards the prep room. Delay needs to be careful because the armor panel's already been destroyed from the Sophia's impact maze as the flashbangs will come in. The entire team of Spectre Gaming is held towards a particular position in which Noxy and Gunmakers find two as when Noob goes down. They have instant control of Bakery, and now they can go for the push. Noxy with a huge aggression will be able to take out Aoreo, making it a 2v4 situation. Things are not looking too good here for Spectre Gaming because there's only 2 players left, and the attackers are slowly they're inching their way towards the site, but still they haven't given up just yet. Or can be a success here for Team Spectre Gaming if they time it right. All hope is not lost yet. They still need to wait a total of 30 seconds. The attackers have to make a push around in which they have the control of Kitchen, and Kitchen is not going to work out well here. Kingslayer will get the kill of Delay, and Noxy in the end to eliminate Venetouts as Clickbait will be able to win round 8. First floor Kitchen, and the round will go to them. Congratulations for Team Clickbait. They will be able to win it out against Team Spectre Gaming 7-1 against the team. Very well played, and also that concludes our final day of Division 3 and also the end of Season 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved it too. Jack loves it too, and even does Eisen in the backhand in the admin. But oh boy, what a match that we get to witness, ladies and gentlemen. Noxy with a total of 11 kills, Kingslayer with 9, and with it comes the end of Season 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, kind of, yet not quite at the same time. And why do I say that? Because we still have Reel of the Moment to go through. It's going to be very short. 7-1, not exactly a whole host of clips, all things considered, that we will be going through in this situation. However, what Baba said is absolutely correct, ladies and gentlemen. That was the last match of Season 3, of Division 3 in Season 3, and of the Pro League in 2020, as of course the year is set to end within the next 24 and something hours. Again, I'm bad at math, but in the new years, we'll have a new season. Season 4, new teams joining Division 3, new teams getting promoted to Divisions 2 and 1, and new teams, or old teams, shall we say, getting demoted to Divisions 2 and 3, and some old faces that have been relegated returning in the qualifiers phase of Season 4. Link is down in the description. Head on over to the Esports Club. Get yourselves registered, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make Season 4 a great way to start off 2020. But before we end off 2021, excuse me. But before we end off 2020, let's go into Reel of the Moment, talking about the best moments of this match that we just had. And what a match we had indeed. For the most part, it was all Team Clickbait, and very little of Spectre Gaming, but they did look somewhat good in pockets, all things considered. But the way to start off for, excuse me, right there. But the way Clickbait started off was definitely very strong. Noxy taking the 1v1, putting them on the morale high ground, and then, oh boy, we had 6 straight rounds in the first half of a Clickbait domination, and just again, amazingly played. Their intel game was on point. Their utility game also on point. They knew that they had to do a certain amount of things to make sure that Spectre Gaming did not pose a single threat to them, and they most certainly did. Unfortunately, Spectre Gaming could not read into Clickbait themselves and put themselves in a better positioning, and they kept getting taken out time and time again. And, as we saw, Kingslayer, he was pretty much going off on the first half of the match as well. Plenty of hype moments from that man alone, as he himself did some pretty amazing stuff. Sometimes, he got caught off in less than stellar moments. However, excuse me, rather, not everyone can be, stellar 24/7. You can't exactly be the best at your own game, at your own play style all the time, because then he wouldn't exactly be here in Division 3. He'd be up there in Div 1 going toe-to-toe with the best of them. All things considered, Team Clickbait, like I've said, like we have said here at the Esports Club time and time again, they're a team that has impressed us with their plays. They know when to be aggressive, they know when to fall back, and their coordination with each other is also very good indeed. Definitely worthy of Division 2, at least that's what I can say, sitting here right now, seeing them be in the top 3 of Division 3. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Throw Syndicate, Jittervuya, and Team Clickbait, not necessarily in that order, will be the ones to go into Division 2 in the next season. A big congratulations to these 3 teams that have done a fantastic job of topping Division 3, and now going to Div 2, their challenge is about to get even tougher. And, unfortunate, but as it turns out, from what I'm seeing right here, Spectre Gaming, Nevermind Esports, and D3 Team Sky will have to try again in the next season. Season 4 qualifiers, link is down in the description below. It's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing to say right there, but hey, we are talking about Season 4 a lot, so might as well remind you that registrations are still open, but not for too long. As really the moment comes to a close, that will be it from myself, Blackjack, my co-host, Babagusta, and his many names, most memorable of which have been Cybergusta, all things considered, and, of course, our favorite admin, Eisen, or, as I've called him multiple times, our Eisen admin and our admin Ryzen. It's all fun and games with us, between us friends. We're all friends here, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we're going to be bidding goodbye to 2020 and saying hello to 2021 with Season 4 of the Pro League starting in its first week of January. We will see you there. And until then, stay tuned, good night, and have a very happy new year.